Our job is to ask the hard what-if questions and teach you how to reduce your exposures and help you recover if things go sideways. We've got decades of experience in Micronesia working with businesses big and small. Call AB Risk Solutions today at 777-2668 for a free inspection and quote.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
This February, skip the roses and give them a night they'll never forget. It's Subscribe to Love, happening February 13th, 2026 at the stunning Leo Palace Resort.
She's my sunshine in the rain.
Starring two of the smoothest voices on the internet, Jeremy Passion and Gabe Bunda.
Your fingers cross mine.
Together for one unforgettable night of music, vibes, and island romance. Couples, singles, and a whole squad. This is your Valentine's celebration. Tickets available now at guamtime.net. Make this Valentine's weekend unforgettable. Get set to subscribe to love.
The holidays have arrived. More of us are out and about creating even busier roads and longer traffic lines to get our shopping done. This is a friendly reminder to all motorists to be mindful and courteous on our island roads. You're partying? Have fun, but be sure to have a designated driver. No matter how busy or how much fun you're having, remember to drive safe. Someone loves you. This message is brought to you by Proline Automotive.
15 more days till Christmas. Get the perfect Shinarp gift at the local shop or bladesbycrank.com.
Good morning, Guam at 6:07 on Wednesday, December 10. I'm Donna De Jesus with a look at your local news on The Point. The trial for 26-year-old John Mike Muliaga began yesterday in Superior Court with jury selection more than 4 years after the death of 23-year-old Jaron Wildbacher. Muliaga is charged with murder, aggravated assault, and assault. Prosecutors say Wildbacher, a Marine veteran, died after an October 2021 fight outside King's Restaurant in Tamuning. Witnesses told police that Muliaga hit Wildbacher multiple times, including after he fell to the ground. Surveillance video also showed Wildbacher being struck while unconscious. He later died at GMH. Muliaga's cousin, Fiatua Ngaluia Aki, faces a separate trial. Meanwhile, developer Flores Rosa, Gura, and the governor are asking the district court to dismiss a lawsuit over $1.79 million in tax credits. The suit was filed by Cortec affiliates, Summer Vista 2 and 3, who claim it was illegal for Gura to reserve the low-income housing tax credits for their competitor, Flores Rosa. Gura reserved the $1.79 million a day after the lawsuit was filed in October. Flores Rosa argues that the competitor cannot file a private lawsuit to enforce the federal law governing the credits. The governor's office argues that the governor has no authority over the tax credits and should be removed from the suit. We'll have more news after this.
Every company needs money for investments to help grow working capital to take on today's economy. That's why Bank Pacific's commercial loan officers stand ready to help you. We offer several programs tailored to assist companies to get to the next step, or perhaps for a startup, including working with SBA and GITA. Bank Pacific. And we want to be your partner. Equal opportunity. Under credit conditions apply.
Bill 238, introduced by Senator Vince Borja, seeks to exempt FBLG Middle School from certain new applicant sanitary inspection rules. The school's permit expired in 2023, and construction delays caused the school to be reclassified as a new applicant. This classification requires a demanding pre-operational inspection with zero deficiencies, which could further delay the school's reopening. The legislature argues the exemption is necessary because the school was compliant in previous inspections and the refurbishment did not change its fundamental structure. The bill aims to support the school's reopening and ensuring minimal disruption to students while maintaining public health safeguards. And the inaugural Guam International Dance Festival, or GIDF, wrapped up its 3-day event this past weekend, celebrating global and local dance culture. A total of 21 teams with nearly 300 dancers competed across diverse categories. First place winners were Nativu Dance Academy in the cultural division and Japan's Amata in the contemporary division. The event, which ran from Friday through Sunday, included free workshops and competitive performances at Sandcastle and the Tuman Night Market. Organizers announced the 2026 GIDF will take place the first weekend of December. And those were your top stories right here on The Point. Now here's Ray with your weather.
I'm start practicing now.
What?
I'm gonna get all my dance moves in. I'm gonna the Running Man and what's the
Cabbage Patch.
The Cabbage Patch.
There you go.
What's the one that looks like it's a one of those.
Dougie. Do the Dougie.
The Dougie, right? We can do all of those dances, and we're gonna put together this. It's gonna be a great team. We're gonna have T-shirts and jackets and caps, and it'll be
we'll
fun.
save the community.
And we'll save the community center. That's what we're going to be doing. We're gonna have a break dance competition, do all of that stuff. Hey, so here it comes. The weather for what's today, by the way?
Friday.
Is it?
No, it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. What day is it on Guam? So it's Wednesday here. Okay, gotcha. Wednesday weather looks like this. Isolated showers in the forecast. I see mostly sunny skies today with daytime highs of about 87 degrees. East-northeast winds, 8 to 15 miles an hour. Gusting as high as about 20. Partly cloudy skies in the forecast and overnight lows of about 77 degrees for tonight. Tomorrow is Thursday. According to this, it says mostly sunny again with highs near 88 degrees. East-northeast winds again, 10 to 16 miles an hour. Might see some gusts around 20 during the day. During the evening, should be only blowing about 7 to 14 miles an hour. Nice cool breezes that we've got around here these days. Isolated showers in the forecast for Friday. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies and highs near 87. So it looks like ramping into this rest of this week and into the weekend is going to be looking really, really sweet for us. With a heat index today is going to feel like 92 degrees. There's a 20% chance of rain. Possibility always of rip currents and high surf advisory. So be on the lookout for those before you dip your toes in the water. Sunrise this morning, still a ways off, about 20 minutes away. It's about 6:33 is when the sun is going to break the plain. I did get some pictures from Jeff over at Pirates Cove that I showed earlier, indicating that the color is good so far. And keep an eye on the horizon. It might get absolutely gorgeous out there in a little bit. Sunset tonight should be about 5:54. Hashtag tell the others. There it is, news and weather together on 93.3 The Point, brought to you by Bank Pacific. Banking on the Pacific for over 70 years.
It's back. Celebrate 75 years of Payless Supermarkets with a $5 off fuel coupon to redeem at any 76 Circle K location when you shop and save at Payless Supermarkets. That's right, $5 off fuel with every $75 purchase at any Payless location. But hurry, this offer is only good from November 17th to December 31, 2025. So don't miss out. Stock up on groceries and hit the road with fuel savings from Payless Supermarkets and 76 Circle K. Minimum $30 fuel purchase required to redeem coupon. Some conditions apply.
Every year it's the same thing. What do I get them for Christmas? This year, give them something they'll actually use and never forget. At Blades by Crank, we've got high-performance chef knives, hunting knives, pocket knives, sleek chef accessories, and never-released blades. Designed right here in the Marianas and built for precision, performance, and pride, we've got something for everyone. These aren't just tools. They're legacy pieces crafted to last a lifetime. Shop now at bladesbycrank.com or visit the local shop on the first floor of the Agania Shopping Center. Blades by Crank, making the holidays extra shinnar.
Right on, buddy. 6:13. Just a note here that some of the items that you may see that you want on the online store may not be available. He sent a note out yesterday that said like practically everything is sold out, but he's got another shipment coming in this morning, and I'm trying to Schnarp and Schnexy into the conversation, just like Frank would. We'll talk to him a little bit later on, because I think it's like 10 a.m. Guam time. This is going to drop, which is important that we say 10 a.m. Guam time for the people that are listening in the States that may want to make a purchase. More on that a little bit later on. In the meantime, what am I supposed to do? Portions of the broadcast made possible by APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home, and the guys over at Guam Regional Medical City. They're your healthcare partners.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
I'm still stapling. Because I'm not sure where the beginning of the program, where the stories begin and where they end. I just feel like, I'm catching up. When's the last show I did? Thursday, last week, right? Was that the last thing I did?
I don't remember.
And then Charlie came in, kept the chair warm.
Charlie who?
We'll start. No, we got to start off with that. Thank you very much to Charlie Hermosa for coming in and keeping the chair warm on the Ray Gibson show, and keeping track of Real Joe and Donna D, and just being an authority figure for the youngins in the studios.
Thank you, Daddy.
Good to have him take care of all of the things. I didn't get any complaints from anybody, and near as I can tell, him and Tello were friends again. Is that did she call in? Do you have any of
they're having coffee
episodes
a little bit later today.
But thank you very much, Charlie Hermosa, for all of it, giving me the time I needed to get out to the Philippines and escort big sister Shelly back to Guam. Philippine Airlines. Thank you, Israel Connie, for taking care of all the things.
Welcome home.
Because you got there's things you got to take care of, like make sure that we've got a kuya right there at the airport to throw Shelly in a like a wheelchair thing to roll her around, so we don't have to do any of that stuff. That was
service.
Very, very nice, and got us good chairs on the airplane. I was kind of worried about that. I was because originally I got up to the counter and they said, "Oh, we've got you in the exit row, sir." And I said, I don't think my sister can sit in the exit row because it's one of the because she just got finished with a hospital thing.
You got to be fast and nimble.
Yeah, so there was a little bit of I'll be right back for a moment, which is better than for a while. I learned this in the Philippines. For a moment is okay. I'll be right back. For a while means I may see you again before closing time.
Yes,
we'll
boss.
you learn those things as you go on. But otherwise, I also want to say thanks very much to Aunties Books and Leah, who were keeping track of Shelly when she got kicked out of the hospital. She went and stayed over at their place in Ayala. So this trip, unlike the last bunch of trips that I took, was I actually stayed in Makati, and I have not stayed in Makati in like years, and it was kind of different to go through all of the different because it's not the same as Global City. It's
not.
It's a different kind of place. Nice walking around, though. Very, very pretty place. I stayed at a place called the Olympia, which is right next to the peninsula. Which is where I saw Jose Marichan. I saw Jose Marichan. I went to go bother him and said thanks. And if he didn't remember me interviewing him, he pulled it off. I said, I'm Ray Gibson. I'm from Guam. He says, oh, I performed on Guam. I said, I know. I interviewed you at the radio station when you did that performance. He says, I remember you now. And I didn't want to push the issue any further than that. And I said, okay, well, there's my brush with celebrity. And there's a picture on the socials with he and I and Desi and Chuck Kelly, a couple of friends that I absolutely had to visit while I was there. And you might be going, well, who are they? Why are they your friends? They are responsible for many of the things that you see and hear on The Point and Boss and Star 101. They're equipment vendors and technical partners of ours in the Philippines. So yeah, I needed to spend a little bit of time with them and see what's going and what's up. But the other thing, runner, right? I'm a runner, so I get to Makati and I'm trying to. This is so cool what they have there. You know how we got those stupid intersections like over at Kmart and JFK. Yeah. You know what? You know how they deal with that where you got a real busy intersection, a lot of cars going through? They have tunnels.
Oh, sweet.
They have tunnels, so you get. It's like I thought it was a subway. I thought, wow, they got a subway down here, and so I didn't know what it was until I saw a bunch of people that were walking on my side of the street that were walking on the other side of the street, but I didn't see where they crossed. And there's these little glass boxes
just for pedestrians.
Yeah, so you go, and there's stairs that go down, and you walk 10 or 20 feet, and you either pop up on the same street but over there, or you can cross the street to go over to Glorieta if that's where your travels will take you, sir.
Nice.
That's how you do all of that stuff. But kind of cumbersome if you're running, because then you got to slow down, got to go down the stairs, up the stairs, all of that. But they have a thing every Sunday. There's a no cars Sunday, and for about a 1.5 mile stretch, there's nothing but runners and skateboarders and rollerbladers and cyclists.
Okay.
They have cyclists out there.
Yes, boss.
Many of them wearing costumes, and it was so cute because a lot of the guys, they all look familiar, right? Because they're Filipino, right? And so everybody looks familiar. Everybody looks like I know them from Guam.
Yeah.
And
I know them.
right? And no, because this is you'll
faces, yeah.
you'll no, it's the body shapes. They have the same body. So you know how you got your cycling friends around here, and they all wear those like skin tight shirts, make it look like they're like sausages.
Yeah,
yeah. And then but they got these big huge bellies. So it's like they're riding $5,000. Same thing out there. $5,000 bike, tight ass shirt, and
little pot belly.
Got a pot belly sticking
cute,
out.
Man.
It's kind of cute. So it was a very, very interesting just couple of days to get out there and do the thing. I try to keep track of what was going on here on Guam, but after a while you just go, you know what? I'll deal with all of that. I'll deal with the news and the stories when I get back. And I kind of wished I'd gotten back a little bit earlier because the governor is now calling for all of us to come up with some comments on the programmatic agreement. Apparently we've got new sets of paperwork, about 25 pages worth of paperwork to review, and then they'll figure out whether are we going to be nice to the military, or are we going to be all pouty faced to the military? Are we going to ask her, okay, you can have all of that stuff in a new programmatic agreement, but you got to build me a new hospital, underground our power, subway system. Did I already say new hospital?
Tunnels.
Tunnels. Yes, that's what we're going to be looking for. So maybe there's that. I guess Will Parkinson finally got around to dropping the what is it? Everybody can vote instead of only brown people can vote on the thing. Is that the basis of the new legislation? So there's going to be all kinds of conversations about all of that stuff, and we get to go again over the conversation about self-determination and things like that. But you know, in this case, we also get to have that conversation while we're doing the one on deep sea drilling. Are they doing protests on that yet? Have we got the usual suspects out there?
We're trying to figure out what we're going to get first.
Is it free?
And what we're not going to get. Then we'll protest.
Free Palestine and no deep sea drilling and no Golden Dome or any of that.
Dude, that's our trench.
It's the Marianas Trench, so we got to share it with the Saipanese.
You're right.
It's not. We don't own it free and clear. We share title. We've got a divided interest, if you will, with the folks out there. Until Trump changes the name to something else.
Quarter interest.
We gotta share it with the guys up north. Anyway, welcome to the program. Excuse the mess. It is the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. My name is Ray. Thrilled to be back with you. And I was asking Real Joe. I said, "Do we have any guests or anything like that today?" He said, "Nah. I'm got great." Because I'm itching to play. I'm down to play and have a good time. Now, for those of you that are watching on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, ThePoint.gu, Rumble.com, et cetera, KUAM TV, we occasionally take requests around here, and there was a request made last week because it is the holiday season. What the heck? It's the 10th already of December, OMG. But Real Joe said last week that somebody had called in and said we need to put up the Christmas light decoration on the thing. Okay.
Yeah, we got one of those.
It's
guys.
there. I got it. And then I found the animated GIF, the one that looks like a Christmas tree with flies.
Flies. Oh.
I don't know. It looks like flies. Some kind of
like fireflies,
invasive species or something like that.
Guam mosquito
flying around in the trees. But anyway, it's supposed to make you festive.
I love it, man.
And no frowny faces. So there it is. We got everything is all lined up now, perfectly for the holidays. And yet you might note here that I indeed got a haircut.
About time.
Thank you very much. It was.
Jeez, dude, when you left,
what?
It was long, man.
Sticking out, all curly,
groovy.
Yep. Anyway, so it was one of those things, and I the plane flies in. You get the airplane arrives at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Actually, these PAL pilots. Heavy feet, man. You get there, they're like, scheduled for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, super fast.
That's just a suggestion. We can get you there in 3. So I get out of the airport and get me a Grab. I figured out the Grab. I know now how to use the Grab. I'm so proud of myself. Shelly got better. Shelly figured out how you can have things delivered by Grab. Nice. You can just call them up and say, I'm sorry, there's no out of vendor list, right? You just want something, you send them there, they'll get it, and they'll pick it up, and they'll drop it off to you at Books and Leia's place, which was really, really cool. I just needed the ride, but so I got in, got myself all checked into the B&B, and then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to walk around and get a sense of how things feel around it. But there's nothing to do in Makati until the stores open up, and that's like 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. It's still like 8:39. while I was walking around. The one place that I found that was open, and it's called Heads.
Okay.
No, with an S, just Heads. Well, it's kind of early for that
Is
conversation.
it a vape shop?
No, it was not a vape shop. It was it's a beauty salon, number one. But and I walked in, I said, "Do you cut hair for boys?" And they said, "Yes, we cut hair for boys." And I'm kind of looking around, and there's wigs all over the place, and that was the real point of the place.
Yeah,
is yes, we'll cut your hair. But if you don't like the haircut, we'll sell you a wig. And they have wigs there for boys, and they have wigs there for girls. And they threatened they threatened to try a couple on me. and I went through the litany of yes, I have a gigantic ego, but I'm not that vain. I'm not so vain that I would try on a wig because everybody's gonna know. They'll know, right?
They'll never know.
They will know. They'll know.
But
So
they
anyway,
won't say anything.
but if you're ever in the Makati area and it's 9 o'clock and you're looking for a haircut, that's a good place to go. And if you like this one, and if you're looking at the TV and go, well, it's nice that it's shorter, but it's kind of ugly on you, Ray. So I don't know. But the other thing was I sat down and they washed my hair and everything. I sat down and I went with this stylist. She was the senior stylist, as opposed to the junior stylist that's only allowed to observe and wash hair. Right?
Okay,
So she was the senior stylist, and I said, okay, not much to be done about the hair in the front. That receding hairline's going, but in the back, I got a thing. So as you cut my hair, I want to make sure that you are protecting with longer hairs the hole that I have in the back of the head. And she's, don't worry, sir. I know what I'm doing. And I let her take her course, right?
Trust.
Yeah, well, it's a high trust place, the Philippines. 6:26 in the morning. Lots and lots to get to in the table of contents. Real Joe phone, 888-8255-888-TALK. Donna D has got a box that she is going to share with everybody of mango tarts that have been smuggled into the country just recently. I put them in a thing out there. Yeah, so if you want, the mango tarts are outside, maybe in between the different newscasts that she's going to be doing. In the meantime, I got to say good morning to all of these mango tarts here.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name.
Unless you're in the Philippines.
You want to go where people know people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
Not at a place called O'Reilly's. I'm just going to throw this out there. You don't want anybody to know your name at O'Reilly's. Where were we? In Poblacion, if you will. I was in. People are going to say, what were you doing in Poblacion? There is, at the end of the road in Poblacion, there's a place called Dr. Wine, which is the same name of a place I like to go to in Bonifacio Global City. So I wanted to go check out the other Dr. Wine. Yes, I had a referral to the other Dr. Wine.
Dr. Wine?
Yeah. And it was different. I mean, I don't want to say it was better or worse. It was different. The place was really, really crowded, and a lady that escorted me in kind of looks around and says, I don't think we've got a place for you. And I kind of looked at her and said, are you turning me away? Are you turning me away? I said, Bonifacio Global City, Sarah never turns me away. So and so she kind of looked, oh, the crowd. Okay, fine. We'll find you a seat, sir, for a while. Was what she said. But it came back. Here's a chair, and you sit at the Section 8 version of the bar, where you got to light a fire to get the attention of the guy behind the bar. Anyway, 6:28 in the morning. So the mango tarts will begin. Mango tart number 1 on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Auntie Bennett Lohan Duenas hanging out here. Early morning shouts to all of her favorite Republicans. I get Elizabeth Mendiola Kichitu, Lori with a wide Duenas. There's EOD Kaboom saying, ahoy. What's that? No notification again today, said EOD Kaboom. What's he talking about?
I don't know.
What are you supposed to get a notification that are you like and follow, right?
Oh, check your settings, sir.
Yeah. And if it's not from YouTube, it's because I got to the YouTube late because I've been gone for 4 days. I forgot how things work. There's Ken Augustin says Happy Hump Day Wednesday, all. Stephen Blake, Auntie
Real
Bennett.
guy.
Who else is in the thing here? Welcome back, Ray says EOD Kaboom. Nice Smug Wimp says morning, Lori, Auntie Bennett, EOD Kaboom, and Ken, as in Ken Augustin. Have a day to you, Ron Castro saying Huff a Day Pointers. Nice to get that guy in there. Welcome back, Ray. Good morning. RJ Donna says Smug Wimp. Good to see we're all strong because of Eric Chong. Have a day to you, Elena Garcia, Tony, and Annette and Pinko. How do you know, Real John? I don't think we've seen the last. A vice speaker. Soon to be. No, I gotta be careful. There's movements.
Yeah?
There are movements.
There are?
I can't speak to them.
Shoulder shaking?
I've been told under pain of death. I may refer to movements in the Republican Party, but it's for all intents and purposes, it's a very small circle of people that are inside, that are in the know, if you will. So I will speak of movements, but I can't be.
It's coming soon.
Yeah. But anyway, so Tony and Ed and Pinko, I don't think we've seen the last dun of Tony Ada. Where are we? Auntie Bennett's in the thing. I'll bet Auntie Bennett knows what's going on. Henry Manglonia watching. Hafa Elena Garcia. Ray, you back? Good morning, Ray Donady and the crew says Ken Augustin. JB St. Nicholas wishing everybody a good morning. We'll get a countdown right about 3, 2. There it is. 14 days, 17 hours between now and the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus, Harold Christ, the best president ever. Joe Kai saying good morning to the Woostig neighbors. I got, let me see, Felix Bamba hanging out in the machine. Joe Dizon saying good morning. And anybody else here? Steve and Liz Amagwin saying good morning. Let me see. He's got a message here. It's one of those Seymour messages.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, it's not. It's not that bad. It's it's a link. It's a link to a case, another effort not to allow voters after all voters in 1972 improved status quo. 1982 Commonwealth will be challenged again via the court system. The exasperation, and I knew it was coming, and I didn't know when it was going to hit me. There's a certain fatigue that I get on things that we've got, on issues that we've been batting around since even before I got into talk radio, and we talk about the decolonization, self-determination, and all of that, and here we go again. Parkinson, with an attempt to keep his name in the news, moves a pretty interesting piece of legislation, has town hall meetings talking about this decolonization. Where are we going to do? What are we going to end up doing? He came up with an idea, and I'm not downplaying his idea. I'm just going, oh great, here we go again. We're going to have it's going to be another platform for all kinds of activists and wannabe activists to get out there and just take the air out of the room. And at the end of the day, we're still going to be stuck with nothing. This is not going to be. This is not going to be a step that has another conclusion. We're gonna go and blow hot air from one side of the field house to the other side of the field house, and at the end of all of this, it will all be for nothing. There will not be any significant changes one way or another. Anyway, that's where my head's at on this thing. Joe Kai says no YouTube feed. I know I fixed it. There's Jerome McDonald, Nate Horn, good to see you on the thing. Happy Unch Day, says Nate. Simon Sanchez. Welcome home, Shelley and Ray. Thanks, Charlie, for an entertaining fill-ins. 'Tis the season, he says. Keenan McCausland looking at the gizmo, watching this. Mark Ina hitting us up with a smiley face emoji. Always nice to see that. Cecile Bumbastuda says, welcome home, Ray and Shelley. Good morning, Point Gang and Guam. Have a safe and wonderful week, all. It's possible. I might actually run into Cecile Bumbastuda at some point today. Yeah, my understanding is there's a thing. For Senator Jesse, there's a thing. Yeah. So if you've got something that you want to complain to somebody in the government about, apparently the go-to for Jesse. Everything, including you still got to carry your luggage upstairs over at when you land in Hawaii. He's the guy to complain to about that. So anyway, I'm told there's a thing for him tonight at Ture. What do we know about
okay.
Teray?
Cameras everywhere.
Everywhere. Anyway, maybe I'll get some details on that a little bit later on in the program. Jennifer Lynn Zimlick Pangolin says, "Good morning, Ray. I see that Zimlick name, and I know exactly who's on the line. Miss your old man. Think about him all the time." Gilbert W. Glenn Jr. saying, "Hello, sir. Good to see you. Gilbert Glenn Jr. in Knoxville, Tennessee, hanging out. Ismail Velez on the machine this morning as well.
What up,
Carol Ann Prune. Johnny Utah says, I wonder why Guam doesn't get big red sky sunrises like we do here in Florida. The sunrise here just as amazing as this sunset. Maybe your weather guy that you've got on. Well, no, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with
Wow, he's throwing gut punches already.
we're behind in our payments on spectacular.
He didn't want to break it to you, man.
Red.
Not during the holidays.
We're behind. You know what? We thought we had some money left over from COVID, and we were going to do that with the sunrises, but
we came up short.
And the thing is, we've only got enough for about a quarter of the sunsets at night. So that's why you never know going out. Like last night, right around sunset was looking good. I was like, color good. I'm starting to see some of the color, and then it just got dark. It was color good for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then we plunged into to darkness. Anyway, good to see you on the thing. Alicia Duenas Anderson, the Christine Oliver says, happy unch. Johnny Muffness is online.
Not that one?
No, other one.
Is it? Okay.
Says, welcome back, Ray. Morning Point Familia. We are halfway through this week. God bless it. Tattoo Sean Fujikawa Stickle saying, good morning to everybody. What's that? More from Johnny Utah says, irony of the evil we deal with. The fake news attacks Trump's health after ignoring Biden, yet Trump is obviously just fine and doing the job, unlike Biden. Yeah, I saw some of that in some of the international coverage. You know, when you're in the Philippines, that's international coverage. So I was watching a little bit of that going on. And all I know is if it comes from any of what Trump referred to as fake news in the first administration, it's all BS. Just whatever it is that they say, the absolute opposite is happening, and that's all you need to know about that. Ben Servino says, welcome back, Ray. Happy Wednesday to our Point Familia. Good to have you online. I see Jessica S.E. Cruz, more from Auntie Bennett. Oh, Auntie Bennett says, very nice haircut, Ray. Thank you very much. I'm ready for the judge. This is the going to see the judge at the courthouse haircut, right?
Yeah, you got the various envelopes in your hand from mayors.
Yes.
Saying what a good kid you are.
Just show him some leniency. He's got the going to court haircut. Thank you very much, Ben. Leon Guerrero online. Nice to see you. Mark Mendiola says, I need a wig. There's Ali Malakas, Johnny Utah. If you rob taxis in New York City, you get appointed to the oversight of the NYPD under the communist administration they have there. But you know the funniest thing, Johnny, I'm sure you've seen it as well, with this new Mamdani that they've got in New York.
Yeah, the man.
Is everybody running around going, hey, I'm here for my free bus ride. Is this the free bus?
Where's that free food?
Where's the free food? Is this the free food truck here with the Mamdani? We're not supposed to pay for anything now. To which everybody says, wow, and we haven't gotten notification yet of that. Johnny Utah says, no, Ray, you're shadow banned if I haven't gotten a notification for your show in over a month. Therese Uggan, I don't know, renew your license. Like they're doing with food stamps.
Yeah, you renew your vows, man, to the
there's
show.
A story. There's
there
a story about that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Jerome saying, good morning to Tattoo Sean. Nick Nichols online says, Ohio. Barry Mead. Let me see.
There's that big Barry.
Show Ray, when are the political elite just stopped to warm, especially James Moylan, going to do something about the citizens of Guam being contaminated by being exposed to Agent Orange, which the PACT App 2022 specify. I don't know what the hell.
The color or the fruit?
I'm not sure where you're. I think this is dictation. I think he dictated this. And the dictation doesn't speak Barry Mead. Let me see. Brother Ted's in the thing. Sandra Rages checking in from Elson Air Force Base in Alaska, where it is minus 30 degrees today.
Ain't nothing, man.
That's shorts and tank top weather. There's Ismail, Big Sister Shelley, Maria Duenas Paris says, good morning to Christine, Oliver, and Alicia Duenas. Welcome back, Shelley, from Auntie Bennett. So it looks like we got some of the usual lurkers here on the Facebook side. Checking out the YouTube side again. Do I apologize? Nah, I'm just got to it late. But Tommy Napati is in the machine. Gemma Bustamante, good to see you there. Ron Castro lurking here as well, saying, hoi. Stephen Klein saying, good morning. Alpha Vern Bates, MP Ogo, Adult Supervision. Vision. Catherine Loves 671 saying, good morning, everybody.
Uh-oh.
There are a couple of, I thought I saw a couple of just.
When you were out of town?
Catherine.
She was getting wild when you weren't around, man.
Lots of
Let's
comments.
see.
Let me see. We'll see if we can scare some up today. Bad Boy 671 Guam Barbecue is there. Guam, USA. EOD Kaboom. Let me see. It says, Ray, what are you using for a streaming dashboard? OBS, StreamYard, none of the above. This is it's a bespoke system, if you will, customized for just guys in radio. They've got a newer version of it that uses OBS, but it's one of those things where, outside broadcast. Outside broadcast and streaming or whatever, but I've played around with it, and as I like to think that we've got sophistications with or complications with the mechanisms that we have here, and the systems that I've tested out that are based on OBS for streaming video aren't ready to take over for some of the things that we do here. But thanks very much for asking. Tatu Sean Gumatata saying, good morning from S. Lucas Telefofo. Welcome back, Ray. Don't stay too far away from the phone. I need to talk to you about the oversight that you're going to be doing on my cousin Freddie's work over at the prison house. What do we got? Lupang, Guam 7560. This is so weird because it's giving me full tags here. Did you go to Rockwell Mall in Makati, Ray? Awesome grocery store in the basement.
Oh, my God. He can't afford that.
Best movie theater on the third floor.
I'm kidding, Ray.
I didn't make
That's the rich side, bro.
I didn't make it all the way out to that side there. I lurked at. I went into Glorietta, but I went into Glorietta at noon on Sunday. Guess what you can't do at noon on Sunday in Glorietta?
Can't pray?
Can't sit down and just go find a beer and what I wanted to do, Shakey's.
Okay.
I wanted to do Shakey's, but
it's quiet,
super crowded. Oh my God!
Okay.
I walked right up to the door, and like 20 people looked at me and kind of gave me that. Oh my God! Look at that rude American doesn't know there's a line here. So I wasn't able to get the Mojo potatoes or the pizza. So I ended up at White Flower. Is that the name of it?
Oh my God!
I kept giggling because I thought it sounded like White Power.
White power.
But I don't know. They couldn't take me at a regular table, so I had to sit at the bar, and I didn't feel like eating at the bar, so I just kind of lurked there and drank a couple of beers, and then walked around to the rest of the place. Triangle Park. If you're familiar with it, Triangle Park is just a gorgeous place, steps away from whatever it is that you want to do, and literally the center of the activity in that town. There's everything that goes on. There's a couple of restaurants there, coffee places. There are obviously places where you can work out. They got this beautiful playground. I might have pictures of it, but you know, I don't want to be that creepy old guy that was taking pictures of people at the playground. Is that your mom? Do you have a daddy? Do you have a daddy? Do you see your daddy every day? Yeah. I don't want to appear to be that guy. But the other thing is they've got, and I'd love to see it something like this around here. They've got this little triangle shaped building because it's in Triangle Park, and it's just a little bit of a shed, and it is a place where people can drop off books or take books. It's like leave a book, take a book kind of place. Yeah. And for a lot of people, it's just some place to go and sit and read at the park. And I was thinking about Donna Sunday night because I ended up eating at a place called PST.
PTSD.
The great thing about that place was it was a Japanese infused pizza place. Yeah. It was.
Wait, were there cats there?
There were no cats, but it was just kind of interesting because it was a pizza place, but there were these Japanese overtones that they had in the building. It's kawaii, and the pizza with that they only had one pizza with meat in it. I thought that was kind of interesting. Yes, I had pictures of all of this stuff, but it was like a chicken sausagey thing. But they had it with green olives and black olives, and it was hand thrown. You could tell it was really, really good. But after that, as I was leaving, they have every Sunday night a four-piece. I was going to say four-piece string quartet, but that's redundant. But they had a four-piece.
Cool live music.
There's a string quartet that they had, and they were playing Christmas songs with their strings, and it was absolutely just beautiful. And there was a crowd around there, and their kids and folks from all over the place. It was absolutely, it was a terrific weekend in that area. So not as much by way of shopping as much as it was just kind of walking around and taking the place in. 6:44 in the morning. What was I going to say? There's a lot in the table of contents. Have I gone through all of that stuff? Now would be a good time for another look at news and headlines with Donna, because I think that's what's next, right? Finally, we'll see what's happening with traffic and more. In the meantime, Donna, what's going on? What's the stories?
Governor Lulian Guerrero says only native inhabitants, mostly Chamorros, should vote on Guam's political future. She spoke at the Commission on Decolonization, opposing a bill that would allow all registered voters to participate in a non-binding plebiscite. The commission will hold to its current mandate, emphasizing Chamorro self-determination while preparing for hearings on the proposed law. Meanwhile, the public can now comment on a draft programmatic agreement, or PA, between the military and the Guam SHPO. The PA establishes rules for how the DoD will comply with the National Historic Preservation Act when carrying out projects on Guam. The 30-day comment period is a chance for the public to help protect Guam's cultural sites. And the Neni Christmas Market at Micronesia Mall Saturday showcased young entrepreneurs ages starting at 7. The market was the final event of the Nenpire Startup Series. Kids sold handmade clay ornaments, art prints, ice cream treats, and Chamorro-inspired coloring books. The market also featured music by kid DJs and Christmas carolers. The 4-week program teaches kids how to design and launch their own ideas. And that was, and those are your local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
That was. So the programmatic agreement, I've printed out a copy for myself here so I can review it a little bit later on. And just, just so you know, yeah, it's 24, 25 pages. It's not that. It's just that clearly the thing was read with I think folks that have a little bit more tolerance for the initials and things like that. So all future CJRM land acquisitions on the island of Guam shall be incorporated into the CJRM's AOR and subject to the stipulations identified in this PA, unless otherwise noted. This PA will utilize the definitions found 36 CFR section 800.16. Exactly. ICRMPPA. So expect to be surrounded. You will have all of the jargon that you're going to have to push through. I will take this though and send it up to ChatGPT. And sort out and see what ChatGPT says about this. Just, you do me a favor, take this and put it in civilian speak for me, and because that's all I need to see. That's just, what is it that I need to know? What are the significant changes from the programmatic agreement that they already had in place? What's changed here? Which it seems to me, and I know people who are involved in the business of keeping track of the rules and regulations and what happens when they're doing some construction, when they're doing some digging somewhere on some site and run into something. And from my understanding, all work stops. And there are people that come around, and that's what they're paid to do, is stand around until we find something that looks like the bones of one of our ancestors, or a cast-off Sinahi or something worn by an original Chamorro chief. So when they find all of those kinds of things, there's a whole process that they go through. And near as I can tell, there's never been any complaints about that process from people that are involved. I think the only people that are put out by it, for the most part, are the contractors that now have to get paid to sit around waiting for all of the other nonsense to take place. Anyway, 6:48 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. Donna did the weather. Donna did the news. I did the weather. We'll take a look at traffic and figure out how we're going to kill the next 12 minutes until the next Fox News. Stick around.
Guam Regional Medical City presents Your Gut, Our Focus. From digestive issues to advanced diagnostics. Join us Saturday, December 13th from 10 to noon at the Micronesia Mall Center Court for a community event focused on digestive wellness. Meet JRMC's team from gastroenterology, patient education, patient experience, and referral management, and learn how we can support your digestive health. At 10:30, enjoy a special presentation with Dr. Jill along with guests from ANX Robotics and GI Digital. Enjoy free vital checks, vendor booths, raffle prizes, and your chance to win the grand prize, a 55-inch smart TV. This event is free and open to the public. Join us December 13th at the Micronesia Mall.
You asked and we listened. The Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt. A Wendy's favorite is back. Try our deliciously indulgent sandwich made with juicy beef, crispy applewood smoked bacon, sauteed portobello mushrooms, and melted cheese. All on a soft toasted bun. Available only for a limited time. Head on over today. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt.
Wait, Real Joe said I got to do something. Okay, I got it. 649 portions of the Ray Gibson Show being brought to you by Kim and Ron and all the beautiful people at Security Title. Yeah, and yes, it was the hat that I wore for the most part while I was in Philippines. If I show you pictures of me, it's one of two hats. One of them is the Kim and Ron Security Title white hat, perfect for golfing and running. And then the other one is my Datsun hat that I got from Cazendo and Van Shelley and the guys over at Nissan. Anyway, 649 sunrise pictures up on the screen right now. I'm going to trade that for the traffic picture and see if there's anything that you need to worry about while you're making your Wednesday commute around town. Let me see. No, nothing major. A little bit of traffic getting into Anderson Air Force Base. Let me grab that and put it up on the screen. We got a tiny bit of traffic through there. Otherwise, southbound Marine Corps Drive into Dededo. Things looking fairly clear. Just intersection traffic to look for. Maybe a little bit of traffic over on the Ukadu side. You get south of the Micronesia Mall. Things will look pretty good on Marine Corps Drive. Nothing major on Route 16 all the way to 810 and 16. That's running clear for now. 10 might busy up a little bit later on today. So will 8 and so will Route 4. But right now, not seeing any dogging out traffic anywhere. Southbound Marine Corps Drive through Harmon area, Upper Tumont to Mooning, things looking pretty good there. Nothing major on Marine Corps Drive all the way into the downtown Agatinya area. From there south, though, maybe a little bit of intersection traffic as you're making your way towards the PD area and then Big Navy and Sumai. Just a little bit of the usual Sumai traffic. There it is, 10 away from the top of the hour. That's all the traffic that you need on the Ray Gibson Show.
Celebrate the season with Subway's limited time festive flavors collection. Sink your teeth into the meat-loaded Terhamkin, festive turkey, or festive chicken. Want to dial up your holiday flavors? Add cranberry sauce or stuffing to any sub for just $1 more. Happy feasting only at Subway. Eat fresh, feel good.
Coming January 24th to the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. The Cover Girls, live on Guam. Angel, the original cover girl, and her iconic voice, singing all their hits like Because of You, Promise Me, Inside Out, and Show Me. Joining them on stage, the queen of dance, EDM, and freestyle, Shannon. Also, 90s freestyle diva singing all her hits, Jocelyn Enriquez.
The radio plays our favorite song, and it's what keeps me holding on. Baby, do you miss me?
Brought to you by Choice Broadcasting, Trivision Media, and Cherry Media. This is a Jams Media show you don't want to miss. Tickets and info at guamtime.net.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Johnny Utah. On the screen, I had a picture of sunrise from Pirates Cove. Johnny Utah says, "Yeah, it's okay. That's right. Florida. I guess that's good for Asia. Whatever."
Yeah,
Tina Garcia, did you get the haircut in PI? Yes, I did get it done in that place.
How many?
All of it.
48 pesos? 53 pesos did you pay?
I don't recall looking. I don't recall. I don't recall looking because they were all coming because
Did they attack you, man?
No, they were like, "Can you follow me on Instagram?" And I said, "Well, can you follow me on Instagram?" And they said, "Oh, you're," and I said, "Yeah, I do radio and television on Guam and da 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 da." And then, oh, a celebrity. Okay, everybody come out. We're all gonna take pictures with the guy from Guam. It's called Heads is the name. Sir E's on the line. Love this. How do you know a joke is a dad joke?
Oh,
it's apparent. My God. I know it. Also, there was on Sunday, I guess it was Sunday, there was, we were invited to a birthday dinner party for a bunch of people out in. It was an hour away.
Tagaytay.
Alabang.
Okay.
It was out in Alabang. There's rich people stuff there, bro. There's rich people stuff in Alabang. And so we get in there. I said, well, whose birthday is it? And they said, oh, I think it's a grandson of a guy from Guam. Maybe you remember him, Gerhard Zimmer. Gerhard Zimmer, for those of you who are going, oh, my God, that is a familiar name. He's the guy that opened the Pacific Star Hotel. He was it didn't just open it. I mean, design and implementation and opened the Pacific Star Hotel. Was I want to say number one. He was the chairman over at GVB for a while. So yeah, for the time that I had with him, there's some interesting conversations about the hospitality industry in general, the hospitality industry on Guam back then in the olden days, in the heyday of Tumon and Pleasure Island, if you will. And he had some interesting comments about where things were going and acknowledging that Guam is in a pickle right now, and gee, how would you do this if you had the opportunity to come back and I don't know, bird dog some of the fun. I'll try to bring you some of that a little bit later on. But everybody says the same thing. It's all about the destination. All about destination. Got to make the place nice. Got to clean things up. Get rid of the homeless as much as you possibly can. Hide them. Hide the graffiti. Clean up the trash everywhere. And last week I was remarking about going by the lookout on Nimitz Hill and noting that, oh my God, it's clean. Somebody went in there, got rid of all of the junk metal and nonsense, and put a coat of paint on the wall that says Guam USA and Asampedi or whatever it says up there. It's really, really nice. You got to go back. Sorry, they haven't trashed the place out, but it's clear that somebody went up there and did some light dusting, if you will, and took some crap out of their truck or their car and left it there. If you don't want that to happen, you're gonna have to barricade the place. But
dude, let's put cameras there.
Tracy, well, let me finish part of the story here. So we're sitting down, in addition to Gerhard being there, and there were a couple of other folks from Guam, including Tracy's mom.
Oh, nice.
Tracy's mom was there, and that was just an eye opener. A great conversation that we had with her. We were talking about the construction industry here on Guam, and how we need a whole lot more construction workers. And I said, oh yeah, but where are we going to put them? I was thinking about that bill Chris Duenas introduced. Where are we going to put them? We need more lodging, more barracks, and things like that. She says, my dad, in the old days when we needed more places to put our contractors, we built them because guess what? A construction company. So if we need a place to put 100 more guys and some place for a cook, we'll just build them a new one. And maybe that's some of the conversation that we got to have around here is if there's going to be even more impact and a need to bring in more guys that can do the labor that we apparently don't have enough guys for here. We're going to have to make room. We're going to have to build buildings for them. Turn them into something else afterwards. Turn them into hotels or apartments or maybe schoolhouses. I don't know, but there's always a plan. Anyway, so Tracy then sends me this morning a video. I'll put it in the background. There's dialogue and things like that. But it's a video of the Bank Pacific people that...
and I'm the president of the Bank Pacific Employee Club. And
There
I'm
you go.
Jamie, and I'm the vice president of the Bank Pacific Employee Club. And we're here today at the Lampugan Vista Point in Asamaina. So we're here today because we are cleaning up along with our Bank Pacific employees, volunteers, the Asamaina Mayor's office staff. So we have them, of course, bush cutting, cleaning up, picking up trash, painting the brick wall that appears along the road. We do a cleanup every month. It's called Cleaning Up Our Roofs. And come and join us.
Alfred and Bronco Flores, we're here with Bank Pacific today. What we're doing now is we're on our 5th month of a project we're doing called Cleaning Up Our Roots, where we go around the island and we clean up some spots that we know are beautiful, but have been damaged due to litter, dumping, and just miscare. So Guam is a beautiful island, it's our home, but it has turned into almost...
Hey, what happened? I got to download the rest of it, I guess. But yeah, all the appropriate people seen in this thing can hardly wait to see where they're going to be going next. And I wouldn't have a hard time, depending. You give me some notice on this, and we'll see if we can get some more volunteers to go and hang out with you, and maybe even I will bend over and pick up some trash along someplace that you guys designed. Did they already have the GHRO one? Did we talk to Mary Rhodes about that? Do you remember what day it was supposed to take place?
I don't remember.
All the days are running together in your head as well. I'm
fast.
Same kind of thing going on, and moving into a fairly busy weekend. A couple of good races this weekend. Plumeria 5K, 10K. That's going to take place down in downtown Agutya on Saturday, and then the Jingle Bell Run at Leo Palace. Now, one race is absolutely jam packed. I'm told that the Jingle Bell Run already has almost 1,000 people signed up in that race. Not so much for the Plumeria Run, and so if you're trying to decide one or the other, just do both. 5K one day, 5K the next day. Can be done. Both for very worthy causes. Got a breakaway. Got Fox News Live is coming up next. I don't know, 20 seconds from there. Donna D with news and headlines and all the other stuff that we talk about on a going basis here in the morning show. Something you want me to yak about, just leave a message in the socials, and I'll take a look at that. In the meantime, KUSG Agutya, Pika's Best here, 5 years running, right here. And maybe it's because of things like Fox News on the hour every hour. Here it comes.
A familiar debate ramps back up on Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Donald Trump and Republicans have done nothing to lower the high cost of living. Costs haven't gone down. Costs are going up.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, as Senate Majority Leader John Thune plans a Thursday vote on a Republican health care proposal.
It actually does make health insurance premiums more affordable. It drives down, according to the Congressional Budget Office, premiums by double-digit levels.
Democrats still pushing for an extension of Obamacare subsidies, as they did during the government shutdown. The president is heading to a swing district in a battleground state to talk about the economy.
He's going to talk about how he extended his 2017 tax cuts, how he passed no taxes on tips, overtime, Social Security, deregulation, unleashing American energy. He'll talk about how gas prices are down nationwide. All the while, the president will also continue to slam Joe Biden and Democrats for what they are calling the affordability crisis.
Fox's Aisha Hasni in Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says he's sending a message to President Trump and immigration officials.
Your divisiveness and your brutality are not welcome here.
This while signing a new state law giving more legal protections to immigrants in Illinois, where the state attorney general is not disputing figures from ICE that more than 1,700 criminal illegal immigrants were released back onto the streets this year.
The agency says their rap sheets have 5 homicides, more than 140 assaults, 15 weapons offenses, and 10 sexual predatory offenses. These are individuals who are arrested that ICE wanted and requested detainers for, and who were still released by the state.
Fox's Garrett Tenney, the Democratic governor, accusing the Trump administration of trying to terrorize people with immigration enforcement operations. A mixed finish on Wall Street, the Dow down 178 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Every year, it's the same thing. What do I get them for Christmas? This year, give them something they'll actually use and never forget. At Blades by Crank, we've got high-performance chef knives, hunting knives, pocket knives, sleek chef accessories, and never-released blades. Designed right here in the Marianas and built for precision, performance, and pride, we've got something for everyone. These aren't just tools. They're legacy pieces crafted to last a lifetime. Shop now at bladesbycrank.com or visit the local shop on the first floor of the Agutya Shopping Center. Blades by Crank, making the holidays extra shinart.
This season, KFC turns up the flavor with the all-new KFC Hot Honey Wings. Crispy, juicy KFC wings drizzled in that perfect mix of sweet honey and just the right spicy kick. One bite, and you're hooked. Crave bold flavor the KFC way. Order now on KFCGuam.com or visit your nearest KFC on Guam. KFC Hot Honey Wings. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Supreme Court hears the fight over a campaign finance rule some Republicans say violates the First Amendment with limits on how much political parties can spend to coordinate with candidates.
Attorney Noel Francisco said fears that a donor would try to bribe a candidate through a political party just haven't surfaced, that 28 states have no limits on party coordination with candidates, and it's worked out fine at that level. But Justice Sonia Sotomayor said modern campaign finance law was created because of one such example.
The dairy industry channeled millions of dollars to President Nixon through the Republican Party and its committees. The industry landed a $100 million subsidy from President Nixon in return.
The attorney arguing for the finance limits had to be appointed to the case as the Trump administration declined to defend the rule. And this attorney argued those suing, including the Republican committees and Vice President Vance, do not have standing to sue.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The San Diego City Council just approving a $30 million settlement for the family of a 16-year-old boy shot and killed by a police officer while running from gunfire. That shooting remains under investigation. 2 New Jersey men are accused of threatening a high-ranking Homeland Security official.
Federal officials arrested Ricardo Roman Flores and his twin brother, Emilio. The Department of Homeland Security said in a release they threatened to kill the agency's Assistant Secretary, Tricia McLaughlin, and posted a call on social media to shoot ICE agents on site. The brothers, both U.S. citizens, face conspiracy counts for making terroristic threats. Emilio Roman Flores also faces weapons charges and cyber harassment. Both are being held on those federal counts by the Absecon, New Jersey Police Department. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Recapping stocks, the Dow dropping 179. The S&P slips 6 points, but the NASDAQ finishing up 30 ahead of a Fed decision tomorrow. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Burger King's double cheeseburger line is here. The Classic Double, Bacon Double, and Rodeo Double. The Classic features 2 flame-grilled beef topped with pickles, ketchup, mustard, and melty American cheese on a warm sesame seed bun. The Bacon with pickles, ketchup, mustard, melty American cheese, and crispy savory bacon. And the Rodeo filled with the melty American cheese, tangy barbecue sauce, and onion rings. Making a meal with cheesy tots and a refreshing Coca-Cola. BK's new double cheeseburgers. Available for a limited time only at BK. You rule.
Bundle smarter, work better. When you're running a business, every decision counts. Now's your chance to make one that gives you more. For a limited time, get hybrid fiber internet up to 1 gig for as low as $125 a month. Plus, get up to 6 months of free internet and free Samsung Galaxy earbuds when you bundle with Docomo Pacific. Ready to get started? Try our free bundles calculator by visiting info.docomopacific.com/radio25. While supplies last, some conditions apply.
For all your real estate needs, call the professionals at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, and Lolita, and they'll take care of you on every step of the real estate process. No worries. Just contact Hoffaday Realty at 588-4232 or 588-HOFFA or email them at hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They're at 426 Challenge San Antonio, Suite 204 in Tamuning. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs.
Celebrating the 176-year anniversary of American President Lines, APL is a trusted partner to the U.S. government and its military. Our U.S.-flagged vessels are proud to provide ocean transportation, logistics, and critical mission support worldwide, and most especially to our local partners right here on Guam and Saipan. APL has an extensive network that connects your shipping needs to anywhere in the world. The APL Guam team is dedicated and are here to help you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com. APL, global presence with a local home.
News this hour is brought to you by AB Risk Solutions.
Off at 7:07, I'm Donna De Jesus. Here's a look at your local news on The Point. Police arrested Tasha Joy Garrido Monday evening following an assault on her sister-in-law, Hikaru Gogui, the previous day. Park police were following up on the family violence case after the altercation occurred Sunday at their shared home. Gogui reported that the argument escalated when Garrido threw hot water and siopao at her, and then grabbed and punched her multiple times in the face, causing visible bruises. Garrido told police the fight escalated over kitchen cleaning and insults, and she admitted to retaliating after being provoked. Garrido was arrested for family violence. Meanwhile, Governor Lulian Guerrero is asking the public to comment on a draft programmatic agreement between Joint Region Marianas and the Guam State Historic Preservation Officer. The agreement outlines how the military will meet National Historic Preservation Act requirements when planning and carrying out projects on DoD land not already covered by other agreements. It sets procedures for archaeological reviews, treatment of historic sites, and handling inadvertent discoveries depending on an area's archaeological sensitivity. The 30-day comment period is now open. Residents can send written comments to the Guam SHPO. The links can be found on postguam.com. More news after this.
Whoever said no risk, no reward has never been sued. Hi, I'm Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and our job for over 70 years has been to help businesses just like yours manage risk. Manage risk? We will never be able to totally eliminate the myriad of risks every business faces, but we can help you manage them and recover when disaster strikes. From mom and pop operations to high-rise hotels, we're the experts businesses have counted on for many years. Call me today at 777-2668 for a free risk review and consultation.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
Public Auditor BJ Cruz has ordered the GovGuam Retirement Fund to cancel or revise its procurement for a third-party administrator. The decision stems from an appeal filed by ASC Trust, which argued the retirement fund illegally failed to apply the required local business preference. Cruz found on November 26 that the local preference law does apply to professional services like a retirement fund administrator. Retirement Fund Director Paula Blas conceded during the hearing that the agency typically does not apply the local preference when bidding. The law requires local preference unless an off-island provider can offer the same service for less than 85% of the local cost. The procurement must now be corrected to follow the law. And Guam Academy Charter Schools Council Chair Vanji Cepeda says Guam will need 3 to 5 more charter schools in the coming years. She told lawmakers that 2 nonprofit groups are ready to open schools but cannot proceed because the law caps charter schools at 7. Cepeda has asked Senator Vince Borja to raise the limit. Lawmakers also raised concerns about low teacher pay and the need for stronger financial oversight. Cepeda says detailed annual reports and audits are used to ensure accountability, and some emphasize that financial information should always be kept updated and accessible to the public. Borja is backing a bill to expand council authority after OPA audit findings. And those are your top stories. Back to Ray with weather.
It's going to be happening. There's all kinds of people that are going to be abandoning the Department of Education, looking for other options, and we need more charter school options to be available. Can't really disagree with that because it looks like that's where things are headed. 10 after 7 o'clock in the morning. Is it going to be nice weather for today? Yes, it's going to be nice weather for today here. Mostly sunny skies. Daytime highs about 87 degrees. East-northeast winds 8 to 15 miles an hour. Might see some gusts around 20 in the forecast for today. Tonight, 9 to 13 miles an hour. Otherwise, partly sunny skies. So, have any gorgeous sunrise pictures from Pirates Cove? Hold on, there's one now. Mostly sunny. Highs near 88 degrees for tomorrow, which is Thursday. East-northeast winds 10 to 16 miles an hour, and gusting as high as 20. On Friday, mostly sunny again, with daytime highs of about 87 degrees. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous weather. See if you can take advantage of some of that, get some outside chores done, or maybe grill marks weather for you if you got the time. With a heat index today, it's going to feel like 92 degrees, 20% chance of rain. Sunrise was at 6:33, and sunset tonight should be about 5:54 or so. Hashtag tell the others. There it is, news and weather together on 93.3. This is The Point.
Travel goals unlocked. Whether it's Korea in the summer or Japan in the fall, the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank can help you turn your urge to explore into your next boarding pass. Apply by October 31st, 2025, and if approved, earn 45,000 bonus miles when you spend $2,000 within the first 3 months after account opening. Unlock your next adventure with the First Hawaiian Bank United Credit Card. It all starts with yes. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit one of our branches or go to fhb.com/United.
You asked and we listened. The Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt, a Wendy's favorite, is back. Try our deliciously indulgent sandwich made with juicy beef, crispy applewood smoked bacon, sauteed portobello mushrooms, and melted cheese, all on a soft toasted bun. Available only for a limited time. Head on over today. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt. 15 days till Christmas. This Christmas countdown is brought to you by Carrier Guam. Daily savings on all our high wall units, both Carrier and Toshiba splits.
Nice. 712 Ray Gibson Show portions brought to you by APL American President Lies, a global presence with a local home and the team over at Take Care.
Bringing you closer to the action. Any speaker, anytime. Watch and listen live on ThePOINT.gu.
Can watch and listen live all over the place. Point.gu, rumble.com, YouTube, Facebook is working here this morning. We got there's another one. I'm trying to remember where it is. It's I'll see if I can come up with a better definition of another video stream that you can watch. And those are all live. These are all live. If you're watching this on KUM TV, this is pre-recorded from earlier in the day. 7:13 on the Ray Gibson Show. One of the Real Joe's looking at the preview screen because on the preview screen, she's like, What is that?
No,
okay.
it's the name.
The name, yes.
Caught my eye.
Got my eye, too. The first thing I saw, I didn't even know what they were selling. So they did this pop-up on Saturday, and the pop-up was going all day Saturday, all day Sunday. It was nice, matcha teas and coffees, and there were a couple of places, all kinds of little novelties that you can cook on the side. This was one of the last ones, and it was the dime bag pop-up, and the dime bag pop-up featured all kinds of hot sauces from the area, all craft hot sauces that they make there. You're going to look it up, Dime Bag, D13. Go ahead and look them up on the World Wide Web. You should be able to find them and order some of this stuff and bring it to Guam. Now, they got them in these small little cachets, and there was one of them caught my eye. It was the adobo-flavored hot sauce that yes, oh my God. OMG, right? So
Yeah.
I said, can I sample that? And the girl says, yeah, okay. So she opens it up, gets a little one of these Skyflake crackers, and puts literally a drop, just an drop of it on the thing. And I popped it in my mouth. And I immediately regretted it. Because it had the adobo flavor.
Yeah.
It tasted like adobo. But the thing was, what they used to make it hot was a Carolina Reaper.
There it comes, man.
Oh, yes. Oh. And but all I could think of was
one drop.
Don't show any pain whatsoever. She says, well, what do you think? I said, well, it's hot. But and it was. She says, "What do you want some?" I said, "Yeah." So I said, "Yeah, give me a bottle of that."
Is that a little girl, dude? She puts that in her lunch
little
pill.
girl. She's a little girl. And so while she goes around the back to get a fresh bottle of it, all of a sudden I realized this stuff is so hot, I'm getting the hiccups. Here's money. Quick, the change. I gotta go. It's bad. 7:15 in the morning. Maybe you've had that happen to you. Is that Tattoo Sean on line one?
Senator Sean.
Senator Sean Gumatauta on the line. Hey, Merry Christmas to you, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, Merry Christmas. You're so imbitakeru, bro, to go up there and look at a bottle of hot sauce and drop it on a Skyflake. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to try it. Somebody's got to try it on behalf of all the people on Guam. I should have read the label, though. Carolina Reaper is that's the one, as I was taught to say it. It'll burn you twice, one going in and once going out. So you get two times. But the flavor was incredible. So there's an idea out there for somebody to do the same thing, but with Doni pepper, if you want to, and just have an adobo flavored, but with Doni pepper, something that you and I know how to control. Anyway, 7:13 in the morning. You guys just finished up the last session for 2025, and I have not read the chapter and verse out of that just yet. Are there any Sean Gumatauta highlights in there? Is anything in the mix that's going to the governor's office that you've got your hand on?
In fact, I do. I have a bill that's headed up to the governor, or was sent to the governor, to extend the ability of the Guam Customs and Quarantine to build their sterile facility up there at the down at the Port Authority of Guam.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of been, they're trying, and I think that their port, or their little group, has been working pretty diligently. We've got to get the A&E done. Kind of similar to the discussion that we're about to have regarding the DOC. It seems like we have a lot of these planning efforts that really do need to get underway, and this governor may not be the one that maybe breaks ground or any type of ribbon cutting, but all of the work that really should have, could have, would have been done is all coming to bear right now. And so I hope the governor will sign it. I know she's probably listening to this program, or her team. I'm hoping that they'll act on it pretty swiftly and keep customs working. But yeah, it's about another facility that needs to be built in Guam.
Roger that. What's the funding source for that again?
So they have money from the U.S. Department of Transportation. They have that Marit, I think it's the Maritime Administration Group. So they're funding the A&E for this facility, And I know that because we hear him all the time on your show, but the Attorney General's been asking for inspections. Will it ever get to 100% inspections? I don't think the facility is going to be that per se, but it is a start to get the design, and then we can actually start to inspect things coming in and out or coming out of the port. And so it's kind of in line with what Doug's been saying. We need to start to look at our borders. How do we make sure that things aren't coming in that shouldn't be in here? So I would say it's a good move.
Well, you need a facility, you need manpower, and you need a plan, because the last thing that we need to do is slow down the economy by having long inspection waits before these containers can get out of the
Ray,
port
that's
and
interesting
hitting
you
the
say that,
street.
but that's the point, Nye, that we can't even get talking about slowdowns. We don't even have a design. I mean, we need to start doing the work ahead of that. And then once we get the design, then it's built, and then let the Guam Customs folks work on their processes. I think by that time, I know there's a bill from Senator Lujan to start to to help digitize some of these things. These are really two important steps to be able to get the customs where they need to be in 2025 and beyond.
Well, yeah, I saw a piece of that story last week, and amazing how much of that that should be online, available, and as you said, digitized. It looks like it's such a manual process. It looks like they're using old field receipts, Xerox copy of an original form from the 1970s.
Yeah, I mean, we were visiting there earlier in the year, and it was one of the things that we just saw stacks of papers and not a really cute kid to find a computer. I mean, if our shipping folks are all digitized, why is our one agency still on ledgers to try to get things done for the people of Guam?
Well, begging another question, then maybe there ought to be some conversations about what it is that is being done island-wide by the government of Guam to take ourselves into the next century. The conversation about how they were maintaining actual records and data for veterans over at the Guam Office of Veterans Affairs on thumb drives and things like that. I mean, thank God that they've got some kind of a computerized process, but that's not the way that you want to be able to.
Ray. It's all about priorities.
Yeah.
It needs leaders that in these agencies, meaning leadership or directors or administrators, to be able to say, hey, listen, we need to change this process. It can make it more efficient, and it's a better service to the people of Guam. I mean,
okay, but not
you saw it during the pandemic. I mean, you saw Daphne do it at Rev and Tax. Why can't we do it with other agencies?
Right. So, again, begging the question, and I don't mean to sound snide about it, but I don't know any other way to say it. What the hell do they do over at the Bureau of Information Technology?
Great question.
I mean, that's where they're supposed to. That's why they're there, is it not?
It is absolutely why they're there, and I've had my engagements with them throughout the pandemic and other roles in support of the government of Guam and the federal government. And yes, that's a great question. I know that in the first part of the year we are going to be doing oversights into many of the agencies, and maybe this would be a great question to ask them when they're in front of us at some point.
Right. And I'll take you back. And we were just talking about just general government. There was Will Castro when he was doing some stuff. They came out. I think it was him and Clifford and a couple of other folks had a Guam app. And it was great at app stores. And the way it worked is you downloaded it, and it was tied in with the database and the records over at Land Management. So you could plug in, you see an ad or something like that, and they're going to be doing some work, developing a piece of property, and it'll give you the land map designator for it, but it's not in English, so you can't look at it and go, oh, that's PD, that's Tamuning, that's Mung Mung. But you need to go somewhere or know somebody that knows how to do the translation. But there was an app that you could plug all of those numbers in, and it would zoom in on the map of Guam on exactly where that spot was. And I thought this might be one of the most insanely useful pieces of information technology we have here on Guam, and then I don't know, it just went away. The app died. I don't think it's in any of the stores anymore, or any of the app stores. And I'm thinking that's too bad, because that if we could have continued with that by way of taking information that the departments and agencies use and create every day and put that into a database where people can capture it. As an example, another example is they've got one in in Hawaii, they've got a crime map. So, it's like you can open up a map of Oahu, and it will show you where the crimes are that are being reported, what the nature of those crimes are, so that you know which areas that you can avoid. Just that kind of thing. More of that needs to be done. But, getting back to this conversation here, I'm glad that legislation is out now, passed by the legislature, and we'll see how the governor reacts to it a little bit later on. Obviously, you want a signature. 7:23 in the morning, and back to the nature of this conversation, oversight hearing next week on the Department of Corrections. Gee, what's wrong with DOC that my cousin Fred hasn't fixed yet?
Right, and just to go backwards to what we mentioned about the customs guys, everything is all boiling down to the work to do a design, an A&E. And so this is not an oversight that I just threw together for the sake of doing it. It was really months of meeting with the stakeholders of DOC, Public Works, Department of Land Management, GITA, GURA, just in the effort to understand. There was a policy set over a year ago to build or to work on the Department of Corrections Manilao facility and the Agana facility. And I'll just say this, not to take too much away from the oversight hearing, Ray, but when policy is set by our branch and we are looking for folks to do their role, I mean, the monies, and I mentioned it during GMH's in the Committee of the Whole last week, if we give you money and you're just not going to use it, or you're not even making the effort to try, it's wholly in our power to take that away and give it to agencies that are going to. But when we're asking agencies to do something specifically to do a prison, I know that the DOC guys, they're in the prison business, they're in the corrections industry. They are not in the construction business. That's what Public Works is for, and then on the finance side, that's what GITA does. And there's a whole sorts of policies that preceded me before I came in. I just wanted to make sure over the last 11 months, now 12 months, to get something done. And I think publicly it's about time we share with the community where they're at. They could tell us what the issues are that face the facilities. And in oversight hearings, Ray, it's about policy. What is going to come? You just can't come down and say, okay, you gave me a bunch of words. You gave me maybe a bunch of PowerPoints. What is the action that you're going to take? You will be accountable for the work that you do. And I think that this is in line with what Senator Chris Duenas is doing with the government on the government operations side, and we'll start in January, all the finance side of the house. Very similar. We have to be able to hold these guys accountable for the work they're doing. And it's just to say, hey, listen, DOC, let's tell the people of Guam where you're at. How is this prison coming along? And we expect to have very direct answers.
Detailed answers on what's going on. By now, I mean, a year later, there should be some deliverables to the people of Guam. Maybe some drawings, some plans.
That's exactly the point. And I think for me as the oversight chair for public safety, and the committee, Senator Sabrina Salas-Matanani joined me on a prison tour. We looked at it. We were trying to push this hard. My committee's I've been updating them throughout the process. And we've come to a point where now we really need a hard answer. No more, no spinning. You cannot run away from that. We need an answer. And the people of Guam deserve it from their appointed officials.
For the safety of the people that work at the Department of Corrections, for the safety of the detainees and the clients themselves, there needs to be a better and safer plan being put together. We can't just continue to rely on an old Department of Corrections that takes you back to the 1960s. Worse now with a higher crime rate, crystal methamphetamine, and I think the habitual catch and release program that we've got with certain judges over at the courthouse. I'll leave that conversation to Attorney General Doug Moylan. But I think there's a hesitation with some of these guys to throw them in jail, to put them in the clink because they're worried about the safety of the Department of Corrections, especially with these meth guys, where at least one judge was famously quoted as saying, "It's easier. I'm not going to put you in jail because it's easier for you to get drugs in the jail than it is outside."
Right, and I think that, and also the Attorney General is going to be there too, because he is, him and I have met on numerous occasions talking about this. I know he's been doing his part. And We see him in terms of his reports to the community. We hear about it all the time in terms of his cases. I know there's a lot of folks, there are a lot of naysayers about the guy's work, but the idea is that this is not just a singular agency's effort to build a prison. It requires so many people. And Ray, I mean, it's not like I just showed up. Yes, I did show up 12 months ago, but it's like from a government experience, at least in mine, I know that they can do a better job at this, and I'm just trying to be helpful. And I think that's what this community needs. It needs
sure, but where are you in the process? What do you need to get us to the next stage?
And 1 year later, let's just be frank, in advance of that hearing, is that acceptable to this community? And I think I know what the answer is going to be. And please, I don't want to hear another excuse that this guy, this other lady. No, it's been over a year. And I think this community deserves a very straight answer and a pathway forward with timelines. Because if not, I think that there should be other actions taken if it cannot be done.
I think there's a lot of listeners going, well, there's when you're done with that, then check this out. We'd like to see some action on this, that, and the other in terms of facilities and current facilities and facilities the community is looking to get.
Ray, don't think that for 1 second that the Republican majority isn't doing that already. I mean, we've had quite a number of oversight hearings already. Mm-hmm. It's leading to public policy. That's what the point is. It's not never meant to be this, kick them in the, in the stomach session. It's meant to say we need answers and we need to help you. If you need a policy created, let's do it right now. Let's get this done. At least the input's there, and and you're on the record. You're swearing in. Mm-hmm. I mean, do we have to now take these drastic actions to take, these guys, I guess, to court for their lying on the record? Maybe. If you in advance, do not spin this branch of government. It's just not good form. But secondly, it's like, let's get to work. We're trying to help. We're not trying to hurt anybody.
Yeah. You don't have to be, all gavelly and tough like Joanne Brown when she was doing her oversight hearings or even attending oversight hearings. It was very, very clear when she was disappointed with the answers. But I think she spoke for a lot of people that were likewise watching, saying, no, these guys are walking around their answers and not being very clear and direct about what they need to be talking about. It's always kind of interesting to see when people get caught in the act of trying to shine on the legislature. 7:30 in the morning. Sean, it's always a pleasure talking with you. Merry Christmas. I hope
Thank you, Ray.
Maybe I'll see you over at Teray tonight for a thing.
You'll probably see me for a thing.
Well, you didn't want to. No, okay, no. All right, so I'll just say what it is. It's
go ahead and say it. Right?
So Jesse Lawn.
Oh my God.
Jesse Lawn is a fundraiser thing tonight over at, and he said it was, quote, a big money thing, and he didn't want to sound all benidosu. So he was kind of like, oh, can I talk about it on the radio tomorrow? He said, well, I don't know. But, the guy's got a fundy tonight. And, when it's Sean's turn, I'll make a big deal about his fundy. We'll see what happens. All right, Brett, I'll talk to you pretty soon.
I'll be wearing my red pin that has the big old elephant on it. So that's why I'll be there.
Easy to spot. 7:31 in the morning. Bro, my favorite times hanging out with Sean at some of these things, not necessarily the fundies, but I'll take you back. Before he was a senator, he was the guy over at the Republican Party. And any time that we had a chance to watch the Republicans steamroller in debates, the Democrats, we took advantage of all of that, and more than one or two debate watching sessions over at the venue over at Phil's place, which was absolutely awesome because got the sound and the lights, and there's a bar and all of that stuff. So that last one with Trump and Biden last year in July, when it became very, very clear what the nature of Biden's mental capacities were, that was a great show. 7:31 in the morning. Coming up, we'll talk with Speaker of the Legislature, Frank Bloss. He's got a big deal going on today that is going to close the road in Agania, Talent Center Papa, between the Guam Congress Building and the Cathedral. Why are they closing that down? What's that going to be for? It's for a deal a long time coming. We'll talk about that in a little bit. In the meantime, 7:32. Before we get to news and headlines, I've changed the name of Makati to Makati Makati because there's lots of cats in Makati. This is a cat that found a little spot at the Triangle Park, and he's got in the nook of the bottom of this thing, and you can see where they cut the tree, and the trunk there is perfect for sitting on and spending a little bit of time with a Makati kitty cat. 7:32 in the morning. Quick look at what's going on in the markets because I haven't seen it. I haven't paid any attention to it in a little bit. Where are we at? S&P 500 is down by a little bit. NASDAQ is up by 30 points. The Dow lost 179 points, but I don't care because it's still 47.5 in trade right now in that market. Let me see. FTSE is down by 3. The Nikkei unchanged at 50K. Hang Seng Index is down by 331. A lousy day in all of the markets here. Shanghai Index is off as well by about 14.5 points. I got the DAX. They're in the green by 116. All right. Do I have any big winners? The NASDAQ was the only winner in the American market, led up by Apple 11 Corporation, Warner Brothers, Strategy, Airbnb, and CoStar Group Incorporated. Is it Warner Brothers that Netflix is making a play for? Is that what's going on?
Yep, the WB.
Yeah. There's at least one celebrity online that has commented here about how it's a nice Netflix has lots of money to go out there and buy some of these legacy companies, legacy entertainment companies. But wasn't it just about 6 months ago they were so poor because we were sharing our logins with our grandparents? And like, hey, Nana, here, you want to watch Netflix? Here's my login. Dude, here's my login, and they cracked down on all of that. Well, maybe that's where they got enough money to be able to do some of these buyout attempts. Down around the bottom of the NASDAQ, O'Reilly Automation, Marvell Technology, Biogen, Amgen, and On Semiconductors. Maybe some of the tech is off with news that Donald Trump has told NVIDIA that they can sell their chips in China. There are qualifications attached to that, but that's going to make it interesting as we do the race for AI superiority on the planet and the chips that are needed to get that done. 734. Other numbers that we like to look at here. We'll go to oil at $58.40 for a barrel of that. When I left, it was $59 and a nickel. And the prices of gas going down across the country. Did you see how I qualified that? The price of gas is going down all across the country. Ours went down by a dime last week. That's all? Only one dime? Come on, you guys can do better than that, can't you? I was looking to see if I can find Jerome McDonald sent me a picture of what a tank of gas looks like in Texas. Not that he is in Texas, but he wanted to show off. Somebody had sent him a screen cap.
There you go.
There it is. Yeah. So in Texas, unleaded gasoline will set you back $2.30.
Fill it up.
$20, fill it up. And I was looking at that and trying to, okay, well, gee. Now I'm always cautious about this because people will make that same argument. Well, look at that, West Texas crude at $58.25. Why is the price of gas on Guam still so high? And the answer is because we don't buy West Texas crude. We're stuck out here in the fringes of the Republic, and we have to buy oil from around these parts, from this region here. And unfortunately, the oil in this region is expensive. It's this downtown pricing they're talking about here. And I'm looking to see if Grok was able to find the current price in American dollars for Tapis crude. It's not easy to get your hands on that. Let's see if I can get him to do it again and find out why the oil that turns into the gasoline that we have is what the price is, because it's hard to get from the usual sources. And then maybe that'll help us extrapolate. Now, the closest thing that we get to stateside prices is Autoport price. So for my veterans that are watching the program, for my military friends that are watching the program, please do me a favor. If you are at or near the Autoport, do you remember what you paid, the most recent price that you paid for gasoline at the Autoport? Because that's got to be keyed more to what the standard stateside prices are, not Tapis crude. So kind of curious as to what that is. 7978255 is the meme machine. So if you got pictures of that, by all means, send them in. All right, some of the other numbers that we like to look at, if you're doing some traveling, a bunch of people that are headed to Japan, and for a lot of reasons, because it's cold and snowy in Japan, 156.8 yen to the dollar, and that's a little bit weaker than it was on Thursday when I left. Philippine peso 59.32, which is good for me if the credit card company decides today's a good day to make the conversion from pesos to U.S. dollars for my card. South Korean won 1,470, so a little bit weaker against the dollar than it was last week as well, and that bodes fair because there's a lot of people that likewise are doing some traveling to South Korea these days. Careful, though. A couple of friends of mine went to South Korea for Thanksgiving. And one of them caught pneumonia from pneumonia from somewhere. So be careful. A lot of people breathing in that part of the world, apparently. And Bitcoin number last week, 92,700 or so. Current Bitcoin number, Real Joe?
93,124.
All right, so it's gone up a hair, but not a whole bunch of hairs. Still hasn't broken 100,000 in quite some time. And for a lot of people, that is either a buy signal or a sell signal. I don't know enough about Bitcoin myself to say so. 7:38 in the morning. Donna D with a look at news and headlines. This one here being brought to you by the guys over at Half a Day Realty. You know their story. 4 years in business. 4 years they've been Pika's best and most favorite realtors on Guam. Jody, Saran, Auntie Libby, and Auntie Loli hanging out over at the place, ready to answer all your questions about what's going on in the real estate game, what you ought to be thinking about, what their developers are saying about the future of real estate here on Guam, including what you're going to do with your house. What are you going to do with that property? How are you going to make some money on that property? They'll show you how to do all that stuff. Figure out how you can make some money and then go to the drive-thru over at the Burger King. Get yourself some Burger King gift certificates. That's the big deal right now. BK gift certificates come in a book of 20 and $20. So check it out all out. That will help you with stocking stuffers and stuff for in-office giveaways, etc. 7:39 now with the news. Here's Donna D. What's the story?
A new bill from Senator Chris Duenas would streamline building temporary workforce housing in M1 industrial zones. The goal is to ease delays while maintaining health and safety standards. Construction leaders say the shortage limits skilled labor for military projects. The bill could also free existing apartments for public rentals, boosting housing availability. Meanwhile, West Care Pacific Islands received a $2.5 million grant from the Bezos Day One Families Fund to aid families facing homelessness on Guam. The funds will be used over 5 years to expand shelter capacity, lease more housing units, and hire staff. West Care called the grant a transformational investment to help families achieve stability. And rain canceled Guam's first national skateboarding championships on Saturday in Derrida, forcing Guam Skate Network to reschedule the contest for March 2026. All 17 athletes were ready to compete. And visiting pro skateboarder Tommy Finn says he was impressed by local talent. Organizers say the delay gives skaters more time to prepare, and the community remains committed. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
Okay, got you. 20 away from the top of the hour. Grok is taking a little bit longer than I want to find the current price in U.S. dollars for Tapis crude. We'll see what it comes up with. There is at least one website out of Australia that maintains it. But the last time anybody got anything recent, it said Tapis was trading at about $85, $86 for a barrel, compared to the $58 per barrel for West Texas crude, etc. 7:40 in the morning, and doing shouts to folks all over the place, including my technology partner Bob Kelly, who is watching the program apparently in his place in Bonifacio Global City. Dr. Wine is the name of the place that I like to go and hang out at. But there's Entrecote down the street, and I'm trying to remember the name. There's another place where they have this great Filipino comfort food, but it's fusion style.
Tapas.
And the servings are just absolutely huge. And the picture of the front door at St. Luke's, lobby and St. Luke's, and there's this massive tree that they've got up there. I don't know if there's anybody outside the actual North Pole that loves Christmas more than the Filipinos do. They got the Jose Marichan music and all the Christmas songs starting September the 1st. That's how much they love it, and there will be this High Holy Week that is going to be coming up, where there's even more Christmassy stuff going on out in that place. All right, 7:41 in the morning, and we'll grab a quick break here. The Speaker of the 38th Guam Legislature, Frank Blas Jr., also on the way.
In a world where the 2025 Nissan inventory must be moved, one team rises.
The clearance team.
The
Clearance team? What's that?
We're the Nissan Guam clearance team, slashing prices on all 2025 vehicles. We even have models starting as low as $150 per paycheck.
That's awesome. Let's do it.
You're gonna love yourself a Nissan.
Don't miss the model year-end clearance happening now at Nissan Guam. On approved credit, some conditions apply. See Nissan Guam for details.
Celebrate the season with Subway's limited time festive flavors collection. Sink your teeth into the meat-loaded Terhamkin, festive turkey, or festive chicken. Want to dial up your holiday flavors? Add cranberry sauce or stuffing to any sub for just $1 more. Happy feasting only at Subway. Eat fresh, feel good.
Stay cool all year round by checking out Johnstone Supply for your HVAC and refrigeration needs. Located at 170 Guerrero Drive on Picanel Road in Tamuning, call Johnstone Supply today at 671-649-0581. That's 671-649-0581. Open 8 a.m. to noon and 1 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Open Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and closed on Sundays. Stay cool with Johnstone Supply.
742 Ray Gibson Show. That time check brought to you by the guys over at Beyond the Box BTB, first floor of the Micronesia Mall. And as a traveler, a quick note here, you might want to go and check them out for the latest and greatest in charging technology. Because I don't know if you're having the same thing, but my iPhone, I don't know whether this is just one of these planned obsolescence things, but it ain't holding a charge for squat anymore these days. And I find that I've got to run around with some kind of a juice box. Well, check out the new juice boxes that they've got waiting for you over at Beyond the Box. These things are fantastic. They'll get you all kinds of recharge, and it's a quick charge too. So you plug it in, and like 10 minutes later, you've got the charger itself is almost full, and then you plug in your iPhone, and in about 10 minutes, you're right there at 50% capacity. You leave it in there longer, and obviously it will charge you a little bit more. But really, really cool technology. Lots to choose from. Beyond the Box, Micronesia Mall. Da-da-da-da. There's the traffic noise again. I had a picture. I still have a picture of Pirates Cove up on the screen, don't I? Yeah, gorgeous sunrise over at that place. Clear skies, mostly sunny in the forecast. So get out there and enjoy it. Changing it up with the traffic map here, looking to see if we got some busy spots. Still busy at the entrance to Anderson Air Force Base. Busy still as you make your way from Pow Pow area into Day-to-Do. And then we got traffic over at the intersection at Leche Macheche. Intersection traffic on the back road on the other side of Leche Macheche, and traffic on trying to get to Marine Corps Drive on General Ben Blas driveway there near the hospital. Southbound from there, let me see, is looking pretty good if you're going through the Harmon Industrial Park, Upper Tumon, Tamuning area. That's not so bad right now. Micronesia Mall is looking good, that intersection. You'll see some traffic over at the Mickey D's, and then a whole heck of a lot more traffic somewhere in between Tammy Post Office and Super Happy Mart. Now, included in that is the intersection that takes you into the Garden Readiness Center, where people are going into the auto port there to buy gasoline for. Are you ready for it, Real Joe? Are you? Did you get some of the numbers? $3.17. Is that right?
Oh, that's not bad.
No, so hold on, because there's a lot of people that sent some numbers to the mean machine.
Not bad for dirty gasoline.
They're 317.9 for a gallon of regular on the 5th, according to this one guy. Another fellow wrote in, 317 per gallon over at the auto ports these days. But I just a warning now. I just want to let you know the reason why it's so much cheaper is because it's inferior. The gasoline that you're getting at the Mobile and the Shell and the 76 Circle K.
Dude, if you hold that up to the light, and you look through it, you see the particles.
There's
that's dirty.
Yeah, there's stuff in there. It's the gasoline version of PFAS.
Full price.
It's the gasoline version of deodorants, and that's why they can sell it for so much cheaper. The really, really good stuff's on this side of the fence, just so you know. 746 Ray Gibson Show. More like that on the way.
Every company needs money for investments to help grow working capital to take on today's economy. That's why Bank Pacific's commercial loan officers stand ready to help you. We offer several programs tailored to assist companies to get to the next step, or perhaps for a startup, including working with SBA and GITA. Bank Pacific. and we want to be your partner. Equal opportunity lender. Credit conditions apply.
Are you planning a trip to the Philippines? Why not come back feeling healthier and more rejuvenated? At the Medical City, we offer world-class healthcare services, including comprehensive executive checkups and top-tier aesthetic treatments for as low as $530. Imagine lounging on white sandy beaches, shopping at top-tier shopping centers, and indulging in premium healthcare all in one vacation. Book your getaway now and experience the best of both worlds. The Medical City, your trusted partner in health.
I like that. 747 Ray Gibson Show portion is brought to you by Subway. Eat fit, eat fresh. They've got Subway sandwiches there. 500 calories or less, loaded with protein. If you're working out, trying to get a head start on your New Year's resolution, think about the diet that you've got right now. Think about changing it. Speaking of Subways, that was one of the busiest places at the airport when I was flying out. Was all kinds of people wanting to get a sub sandwich before they got on the airplane. 747, maybe you too as well. Frank Boss Jr. next.
The Coconut Wireless is back. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
He's not going to get mad, okay? That's Don and I have a thing. We side eye each other every time Frank Bloss Jr. says "okay," because
I got the okay counter.
It's the definitive okay. It means okay. I'm done talking. I've made my point. Okay, is the way that. Well, I don't think this is going to be an okay conversation. I mean, it's going to be an okay conversation. It's not going to be that one because we're talking about. In my mind, this is a good thing. This is a positive motion here, and it's a bipartisan positive motion, and something that probably should have been done a long time ago. We make a big deal about liberation, as we should, honoring the sacrifice of the Guameños, the sacrifice of the liberators. But around this time of year, it's at the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, and everybody running around and shopping. And when does the vacation start for the kids? All of that stuff, and we tend to forget the anniversary of the invasion of Guam and shows of heroism and bravery on that day. And Frank Bloss Jr. and others have decided that we're not going to forget that anytime soon. So you got a big deal going on, and big what is it? Thing, a wreath-laying ceremony that's going to be taking place. Buenas Navide, welcome to the program, speaker.
Buenas, okay. Let's just get that out of the way.
You're right there. There you go. It's like Joanne Brown had a crutch phrase. Hers was at the end of the day. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
We all do. But at any rate, which might be one of Ray's, we'll move into this wreath-laying ceremony today in honor of the Insular Force Guard.
It's not just in honor of the Insular Force Guard. It's also in honor of the Guam Combat Patrol. I worked closely with Senator Chris Barnett, and we worked on December 10th. Being the Insular Force Guard Memorial as well as the Guam Combat Patrol Day. And the significance of today is this is actually the day that the Insular Force Guard in 1941 surrendered or put up the best valiant fight they could with what they had. And the wreath today is going to be laid in the exact spot where they made their last stand.
Was that in front of the Palace Zoo?
That's actually in the area of the where the Palace Zoo is at.
Yeah.
In that vicinity, exactly. And so we're going to be laying a wreath there in their honor, to thank them and to honor them for their sacrifice and their bravery, right at the start of the war and at the end of the war.
And the combat patrol, obviously the people that knew the lay of the land and had been held prisoner by the Japanese, occupied by the Japanese over the course of the occupation years of the Second World War, and an opportunity for them to take the Marines around and show them where there might be some more Japanese to shoot at.
Absolutely. That helped to further protect. There were still sniping, and there was, despite a lot of people thinking that August 10th or July 21st was the liberation, and August 10th was the end of our war, we still had people getting injured, and in some cases killed up until February and March of 1945.
What a story! The thing is, you think about this in terms like I think Frank and I do, is that our generation is not that far away from folks. I mean, we both grew up with people whose dads were in the combat patrol.
Yes, and we both grew up in an era where you still walk around, and other than the grenades or the leftover munitions that were laying around, which they still are, but back in our day there was just a lot of it. You still had the remnants of the old tanks, the old jeeps, the pottery, and everything that was just laying that hadn't been touched. For
I'll bet there's still places. I'll bet there's still places in the boondocks where you get the hiking guys go and nowhere to find all of that kind of thing, and just kind of leave it there. There's a spot in the hills in Agate that I've hiked to where there are the remnants of a Japanese Zero, including the gun. That one of the guns that was attached to the Zero, just kind of laying out there in plain sight, and never been stolen, never been vandalized. I think people recognize the significant historical value of all of that. When is the wreath laying going to be taking place?
First off, we have a ceremony that would honor them in the public hearing room of the Congress building. We have identified actually over 120 individuals who were part of the Insular Force or the Combat Patrol. And we've invited, obviously, many of them, if not all of them, have since passed away. So we've invited their families to be able to partake and to join in the remembrance, in the celebration, to remember them, to be able to provide them some token of appreciation, certificate of recognition. And then from there, we're going to...
Well, there is a statue for the Combat Patrol over at the governor's office.
Well, yes, but what we'll do is because this is the first year that this is happening. This is as a result of a bill that Senator Barnett and I had introduced and had passed on the legislation, later passed into law. And so this is the first year that we're going to be doing this. And I hope to expand it, because one of the things that this is the responsibility of the executive branch to be able to honor and to provide this remembrance. But that said, we're going to do it this year.
Okay, a quick question now, because there's a connection in my head of the Combat Patrol guys and the beginning of the Guam Police Department. Were there not a lot of guys that decided, okay, I'm going to just keep doing this, and became some of the original police officers?
Absolutely. I think all of them, if not, not most of them, became the originators. And well, mind you, we did have a military force prior to the invasion, prior to the war. And these individuals that made up the Guam Combat Patrol obviously donned the uniform again, for lack of a better term, and then continued on and said, look, our island needs to continue to remain safe and civil. So they went on to create, at that time, the police force, or at that time, the public safety force, that now is both the Guam Police Department and the Guam Fire Department.
Connections, man. Connections. And you see the names of the guys in the Combat Patrol and recognize they're the DNA of the current Guam Police Department and the Department of Public Safety, the old school way that we used to call it, DPS.
Absolutely. There are many individuals that are in the police department now, and this is one of the things I would hope that they would look at is look at the lineage. Yeah. And of your family, your grandfather and your great grandfather, your great great grandfather, helped to build, and now it's passed on to you, and that should hopefully that means a lot for you and what you're doing for the island.
Yeah, well, it's a point. It should be a point of honor, with, especially with young police officers now, or younger police department guys that can trace their family history back to combat patrol dudes that became cops. All right, so big deal today over in downtown Agutnia area, and so if you're driving by the church, you might have to get a detour around. They'll detour you and make you go back towards O'Brien Drive or Marine Corps Drive, huh?
Yeah, so somewhere in the area closer to the post office, between the Pope statue and the post office in that area, we've worked with the mayor's office as well as with the police department. And for the time that people will be traversing me walking from the Congress building over to the monument, we'll close off the road for pedestrian safety. And lay the wreath and then head back.
Gotcha. 7:57, a couple of minutes left, and among some of the big stories and big conversations that I've noticed in the last couple of days that I've been gone is the conversation again about self-determination, decolonization, if you want to call it that, and now a piece of legislation that has been introduced by your colleague Will Parkinson. Your initial thoughts on that?
Well, first off, you got to give kudos to Will Parkinson for being able to take the conversation out into the community and get the community input on it. And I'm sure that his decision on what type of legislation or how it should proceed is a result of those conversations. Yeah. We can have the conversations up at the high levels as much, which is what has been happening, but to no avail. And so what Will is providing, I'm sure, is the alternative or another option to be able to discuss this and bring it forth. And so, I want to take a serious look at it, as well as look at the opposition or the backlash. I don't want to say backlash.
So I said I support Will Parkinson's endeavor here only because the Commission on Decolonization does not support it. In fact, they're going to actively fight this, and I think that speaks more to me about the Commission on Decolonization than Will Parkinson or this legislation. It's like they don't want to see anything that might mean the end of their jobs there.
Well,
that's how I see it.
If that be it, then so be it. But we're going to have to, and I appreciate again the endeavor and the idea of being able to push it forward. Will it pass? Will this something that comes to fruition? That's yet to be seen.
Yeah. Well, I hope something becomes of this, because in our lifetimes this has been this hum, this buzz in the background, and it's something like war reparations that we need to finally close the books on. I personally feel that way.
Let me just throw a wrench into the mix here. We obviously the vote is to ask the community as to what kind of a relationship they would like with the United States. Why don't we go to the United States and ask them what kind of relationship would they like to have with us?
We should.
Why don't we
send a letter? Send a letter.
Should.
I think now there's never been a more opportune time to do all of that stuff, especially given the nature of something that Jimmy Moylan is talking about, and the nature of the defense of the United States of America that is going to be centered here on Guam. I got to run. I got news coming up. Possibility. I'll see you later.
You will.
Speaker Frank Bloss Jr. Got a breakaway now. Fox News Live, KUSG. Agutnia. This is Pika's Best.
One side hasn't changed. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Democrats keep pushing for what they wanted during the government shutdown, an extension of Obamacare subsidies set to expire.
Democrats have put forward the cleanest, fastest, most realistic solution, a 3-year extension of the current tax credits. No gimmicks. No poison pills.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, as Senate Majority Leader John Thune plans a vote this week on a new proposal from 2 Republican senators.
It delivers the benefit directly to the patient, not to the insurance company, and it does it in a way that actually saves money.
The GOP plan does not renew subsidies, instead offering reforms, including allowing people to enroll in health savings accounts. Either plan would need 60 votes to advance. Democrats accuse President Trump of making an affordability crisis worse. The president's about to kick off a series of economic events to counter that message, beginning in Pennsylvania. The Pentagon's ban on transgender service members can continue, at least for now, as a divided appeals court lifts a temporary injunction.
Lower courts will continue to hear arguments, but the policy will remain in effect while the case is litigated. The Pentagon banned transgender service earlier this year, reversing a Biden-era policy. The policy says service members who have a current diagnosis or history of gender dysphoria will be separated from the military, adding the department recognizes only two sexes, male and female. The appeals court ruling says the Pentagon has assessed the impacts of gender dysphoria on combat readiness and unit cohesion.
Fox's Jared Halpern. A college campus on lockdown in Kentucky after reports of a shooting. Just getting word from Frankfort police, they responded to Kentucky State University this afternoon, now confirming one person dead, another hospitalized. But police say the campus is secure and a suspect is in custody. America is listening to Fox News.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and all of us at Security Title want to wish you a joyous holiday season. We are grateful for your continued trust and support, and we look forward to serving you in the new year. May your homes be filled with warmth, laughter, and love this Christmas. From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Security Title, celebrating over 25 years as your trusted partner in real estate.
This holiday season, Subway turns up the crave with the limited time festive flavors collection. A lineup of 3 bold sub rings in beloved holiday flavors in handhelds with Subway's extra festive stuffing and cranberry sauce. Take a bite on the wild side with the Terhamkin, oven roasted turkey, ham, tender rotisserie style chicken layered with Monterey cheddar, herb stuffing, onion, sweet cranberry sauce, and mayo. Served on hearty multigrain bread. Or set the Friendsgiving feast abuzz with the festive turkey and the festive chicken. Put a fresh twist on holiday feasting. Only at Subway. Eat fresh, feel good.
New restrictions on federal immigration enforcement in Illinois.
An Illinois law will prohibit federal officials from taking enforcement action against immigrants near courthouses, hospitals, on college campuses, or in daycare facilities.
Dropping your kid off at daycare, going to the doctor, or attending classes should not be a life-altering risk.
Governor J.B. Pritzker.
This legislation that I'm signing today will allow for a civil lawsuit against law enforcement officers who violate the Illinois or United States constitutional rights of the members of the public that they are supposed to be protecting.
Stressing no one is above the law. The legislation is in response to President Trump's crackdown on immigration in the Chicago area.
Fox's Christian Goodwin. ICE says more than 1,700 criminal illegal immigrants were released back onto Illinois streets this year, despite ICE detainers to hold some, and some with rap sheets that include violent crimes. Ukraine's President Zelensky telling reporters he's ready for elections in Ukraine, but he's calling on U.S. and European partners to help ensure security. Mixing politics and romance. Fox's Dana Perino doing that with a new book, her first fiction novel.
She explained the premise on America's Newsroom with Bill Hemmer.
It's called Purple State. It's a political romantic comedy. I think it's got a lot of heart, a lot of fun, and on the cover it says, "When red meets blue and love is never black and white."
Perino says she has been dreaming of writing the book since the first grade. Purple State will be released April 21st through HarperCollins. Pre-orders are available now. She told Hemmer she's been working on this novel for 2 years, and the only person she told about it was her co-anchor, who kept it a secret. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
A mixed day on Wall Street ahead of tomorrow's interest rate decision from the Fed. The Dow dropping 179 points, the S&P down 6, but the NASDAQ finishes up 30. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
It's back. Celebrate 75 years of Payless Supermarkets with a $5 off fuel coupon to redeem at any 76 Circle K location when you shop and save at Payless Supermarkets. That's right, $5 off fuel with every $75 purchase at any Payless location. But hurry, this offer is only good from November 17th to December 31, 2025. So don't miss out. Stock up on groceries and hit the road with fuel savings from Payless Supermarkets and 76 Circle K. Minimum $30 fuel purchase required to redeem coupon. Some conditions apply.
This February, skip the roses and give them a night they'll never forget. It's Subscribe to Love, happening February 13th, 2026 at the stunning Leo Palace Resort.
She's my sunshine in the rain.
Starring 2 of the smoothest voices on the internet, Jeremy Passion and Gabe Bunda.
Your fingers cross mine.
Together for one unforgettable night of music, vibes, and island romance. Couples, singles, and a whole squad. This is your Valentine's celebration. Tickets available now at guamtime.net. Make this Valentine's weekend unforgettable. Get set to subscribe to love.
Wakey, wakey, Guam. It's time to rise, shine, and dine at Wendy's. Kickstart your morning with our breakfast faves, like the Morning Melt Panini, savory breakfast burrito, or sausage, egg, and cheese English muffin. Or are you looking for some local flavor? Choose one of our local breakfast platters, like the Biggie Breakfast Platter. It's hearty, filling, and packed with island goodness. Start your day with Guam's best value for breakfast, only at Wendy's. Head on over today. Are you planning a trip to the Philippines? Why not come back feeling healthier and more rejuvenated? At the Medical City, we offer world-class healthcare services, including comprehensive executive checkups and top-tier aesthetic treatments for as low as $530. Imagine lounging on white sandy beaches, shopping at top-tier shopping centers, and indulging in premium healthcare all in one vacation. Book your getaway now and experience the best of both worlds. The Medical City, your trusted partner in health.
News this hour is brought to you by Family Finance.
Off the day, it's 8:07. I'm Donna DeJesus with a look at your local news on The Point. AG Doug Moylan is asking a Superior Court judge to reconsider her decision last month, declining to quickly issue a writ to force payment of attorney fees for contracted law firms. Moylan claims Governor Lulian Guerrero and DOA Director Ed Byrne have blocked payments to attorneys providing critical services. The AG says invoices were previously approved and paid under the same contracts, and withholding the rest of the payments violates Guam law. The judge had instructed Moylan to issue summonses first, but which Moylan says delays enforcement and endangers public safety by leaving key attorneys unpaid. Meanwhile, Governor Lulian Guerrero and Commission on Decolonization Executive Director Melvin Wampat Borja oppose opening the political status vote to all registered voters. The governor stated yesterday that the vote should remain limited to native inhabitants, arguing that Chamorros have never had the chance to exercise self-determination. Wampat Borja warned that Senator Will Parkinson's Bill 248 to remove the ancestry restriction undermines the rights of the island's indigenous people and violates international principles. Both leaders confirmed the commission will hold the line on its mandate and plans to testify against the bill, despite a 2019 federal ruling on the restriction. More news after this.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that family vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,000 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña 475-4545 or Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance.
Conrad Stinson, the longtime former president of the Guam Federation of Teachers and a key figure in Guam's public sector labor history, has died in Indiana at 94 years old after a brief hospitalization. Stinson became GFT president in 1970 and led the completion of the original board union contract the following year. During his tenure, he was famous for turning conversations into results, including sketching the notable $5,440 GovGuam pay raise on a napkin with a supportive legislator. The former JFK teacher also served on the retirement board. Upon his retirement to Indiana, former Governor Joe Ada awarded him the Order of Chamorri. And a public hearing was held yesterday on the Guam Veterans Higher Education Benefits Act, which proposes tuition exemptions for former military service members, their spouses, and children. Senator Vince Borja's Bill 202 was modeled after Texas's Hazelwood Act and would provide up to 90 undergraduate and 30 graduate credit hours. The benefit would only apply after all federal veteran educational benefits are exhausted. The measure leverages existing tuition waivers at UOG and GCC. UOG testified in support, noting the school currently enrolls 64 veterans and 164 dependents. Supporters stress this is a strategic investment and honors the sacrifice of military families. And those were your top stories. Back to Ray with weather.
All right, here's the weather for today. The National Weather Service has issued a wide range of winter weather warnings for the United States. 14 inches of snow in certain areas of the country and atmospheric rivers. I don't know. It's one of those phrases that's probably been knocking around since like the 1930s. But whenever I hear something like it, I go, that just sounds too new. What does that basically mean? It means there's these rivers of very, very cold Arctic air that are flowing around the United States. According to research from the National Weather Service, the worst impacted areas include Wyoming, Montana, Virginia, the state of Alaska, where
surprise.
Sandra Regis was talking about minus 30 degrees this morning in Alaska at the Air Force Base there. Michigan, Tennessee, Kentucky, This is in the South, isn't it? Washington, I don't know if they're talking about Washington, D.C. or Washington State. Keena, what's the weather up there? North Carolina, where family lives, and out in Illinois, where they're going to be seeing some terrible winter weather. What have we got out here for winter weather on Guam? It'll be about 87 degrees today. With a heat index, it'll feel like 92 degrees. Mostly sunny skies, a possibility of some isolated showers for most of the rest of the week, including Thursday and Friday. Nice breezy conditions, too. This is, if you are here, unless it's raining on you right now, congratulations. We are now in what I consider to be the best time of the year. It's just gorgeous. Let me get the satellite imagery on the screen so that you can see what's going on. Number one, there's nothing happening around here.
Tell them about the pink clouds, Ray.
The little pink parts, the little pink puffy parts, not the pink clouds. It's pink air, and the designation that I learned about that from a meteorologist was that designates dry air. As in not just no rain, it's drier. There's less humidity in it. And cooler. As you know, less humidity will make you feel cooler. And that's why this is just the best time to be out there. I passed my house up in Nimitz Hill yesterday, and it occurred to me that it was the first time I'd ever seen the doors and windows open there. And my initial thought was they got burglarized. But the other part was it's just so nice. You don't, and sometimes you don't need to run the air conditioner. And it was the same thing in Manila when over the weekend. I thought there was a morning I woke up late, and late in my mind is like 5:30. And I thought, well, it means I'm not going to be able to get out and do any running until about 6:30. I got on, and I'm thinking it'll be hot by then. And I got out there, and it was like in the low 70s. It felt like running in air conditioning. My fingers felt cold as I was going that fast. No, it was that cool out in the place. Anyway, so dry air conditions that we've got now, and that's going to make it for this. And here's the cool thing, literally cool. It'll be like this until late April. Is the way things work around. So get out there and enjoy it. If you've been wanting to do some stuff out of doors, maybe back patio, side patio sessions, this is the time of year to do that. Careful on the waters if you're headed to the beach area. Rip currents and high surf advisories are in effect right now, or could be when you jump in the water. Sunset tonight should be about 5:54. Hashtag tell the others. There it is, news and weather together on 93.3. This is The Point.
Every company needs money for investments to help grow working capital to take on today's economy. That's why Bank Pacific's commercial loan officers stand ready to help you. We offer several programs tailored to assist companies to get to the next step, or perhaps for a startup, including working with SBA and GITA. Bank Pacific. And we want to be your partner. Equal opportunity lender. Credit conditions apply.
In a world where the 2025 Nissan inventory must be moved, one team rises.
The clearance team.
The clearance team? What's that?
We're the Nissan Guam clearance team, slashing prices on all 2025 vehicles. We even have models starting as low as $150 per paycheck.
That's awesome. Let's do it.
You're gonna love yourself a Nissan.
Don't miss the model year-end clearance happening now at Nissan Guam. On approved credit, some conditions apply. See Nissan Guam for details.
But again, I'm sorry, I'm looking over some of the comments on the YouTube side. Okay, they're talking about filtering again. Okay, I'm gonna put an end to the conversation about filtering. There's no filtering going on. The only thing that gets filtered and the only guys that do it are like a Lupang Guam and who's the other moderator in things? There's like two moderators, and generally what they're looking for is when people say scurrilous and untrue things about me. That's
anything else goes.
Yeah, not at my request, but if somebody starts giving me or Joe or Donna a hard time in the thing, and it looks like it's a lawsuit, then they will. Then they are capable of doing it. MP Ogo is the other adult supervision.
Get him, MP.
Otherwise, I do not eliminate anything. I don't do any censoring on either side, Facebook side or YouTube side. The truth of the matter is, I don't know how to do it. If I wanted to, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So there aren't any censoring going on here today. And if you think there is, maybe largely your imagination, but that's not me. Anyway, 8:16. Ray Gibson Show also being brought to you by APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. I had one of these last week, and I'm craving it again. And we're talking about the bacon portobello mushroom over at Wendy's. Come on, this is one of those things you got to remind yourself. You have to remind yourself that that at some point you'll be somewhere near a Wendy's. Keep some folding money on you at all times so that you can go in there and use folding money to buy. Because the other cool thing about Wendy's is the people at the drive-thrus are trained. They've got a sense, a spidey sense, if you will, on what kind of bill you're going to give them, and they already have the change ready to go. I love that about them. But anyway, I love this about them too. The bacon portobello mushroom melt. It's a favorite back, usually for a limited time. Deliciously indulgent sandwich made with juicy Wendy's beef, crispy applewood smoked bacon, and nobody Applewoods better than Wendy's does. Sauteed portobello mushrooms, obviously, and this melted cheese. It's a symphony. Each one of the components taken by itself is good, but it's not as good as when they put it together. And that first bite that you get on that soft, toasty bun, I might be talking you into lunch, maybe even lunch and dinner today over at Wendy's.
Rediscover Talk Radio here. Your FM News Talk Superstation. This is The Point.
This is interesting. It looks like one of those things where I need to copy and paste the entire comment section from today and just read the comments one by one. Interesting conversations that are going on here. Lupang Guam siding with RU Kaduku 671 says you're 100% Guam's Karens. Rhino something males too took a wrecking ball to the economy in 2020. Guam is now totally dependent on the USA forever. Forever. Yeah. Killed the hospitality industry and suffocated it. So it's going to, if it comes back, it'll never come back in the same way that we had in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. What's that? Decolonization. What? They can't even keep the park clean. That's absolutely zero chance. The people here are ready to do anything to fix things. We're addicted to federal money and have no hindsight. Let's see. Anyway, so some great comments on the YouTube side. On the Facebook side, I've got it parked in one particular place because I'd started the conversation last hour about the price of gasoline on Guam, and what is it? The $4.77 over at the place.
Yeah.
But if you go to the auto port, somebody sent me a picture of the gasoline in Texas, and that was ridiculously low. But auto port prices today are $3.09 a gallon. I'd had $3.17 from a couple of other folks, but Smug Wimp said he went and did some filling up recently, and it went down to $3.09 on Anderson and Naval. Jerome McDonald, Orange County's lowest gas price from ARCO there, $3.99. That sounds cheap, but you got to consider this is California gas.
Yeah.
So they tax the hell out of everything, especially the gasoline, because in California they don't want you driving ICE anymore. ICE stands for internal combustion engine. They don't want anybody using gasoline cars anymore. So there you go. That's why it's $3.99. It actually could be a whole lot lower. Mike Schneip online says, good morning. The Point, to answer your question, Ray Gibson, BIT, the Bureau of Technology, Office of Technology, is not doing much except trying to figure out why their unclassified employee didn't qualify for a position. Auntie Bennett was hearing the conversation between Frank Bloss and I, and remembered that her father was among the Insular Guard that put up resistance to the Japanese. Futile resistance, to be sure, given the nature of the battle-hardened Japanese that were coming to Guam with all kinds of very sophisticated, much more sophisticated battle technology that they had, and these guys were running around fighting with old World War I gear. Maybe they had bullets. Johnny Utah online, Jeff Pleadwell checking in on the machine, sending us pictures of, we believe, the Japanese dancers that participated in the get-together with GVB over the weekend. There's Dave Duenas and the weather report from Jerome McDonald in California. Humidity 16 degrees in Orange County. Guam won't have to be dependent on the federal government if Guam allows casinos.
J-Mac.
Let's start that. No, let's continue that fight. Come on.
Because he doesn't stay here, Ray.
Come on. Let's do it. Let's have that battle. That sounds like a fight in the family, right? When mom and dad have got something. Normally they agree on everything, but every once in a while there'll be a topic that they will just battle each other over. And that has always been a good one around here. You got people that just it would surprise you sometimes when the topic comes up and they come out of the woodwork with all kinds of different, debates and this is bad because this is good because that, and it's always. It's always, in my mind, a conversation that goes nowhere because it ends up getting on a ballot, and we're never going to get the 50% plus one in this town. So it's going to be one of those things where maybe we're just going to have to get brave souls over at the legislature to engage in the conversation and the debate, and then send it over to a governor and see where the conversation goes from there, one way or the other, which is what's going to happen with a bunch of bills that were debated over at the legislature and managed to pass, including, I think, an override of one of the vetoes that the governor sent down. It's in the news, and I don't know if I get around to talking about it. I'll maybe touch on some of the measures that have passed in this legislature that now need to get passed by the governor one way or the other. The scrutiny that it will undergo. 8:22 in the morning. Now earlier, Joe and I were having a conversation, and the marriage came up. It wasn't a conversation between us and marriage between us boys. It's probably legal in this town. No, not where not what I got in mind. But anyway, but there's a story about temporary marriages. Now, my buddy, I'm not going to mention his name because I'm not sure if his wife thinks it's as funny as we do. But his buddy says that between him and his wife, they go through a renewal process every 5 years. Yeah. It's like a contract. Yep. So every 5 years, we take a look at the contract and decide whether we want to stay in this relationship or not. Exactly. But
renegotiation.
Yes, can we renegotiate this?
What if you don't want to renew your contract?
And then, then maybe it's a good thing that you have the conversation. There's a story about how a Chinese columnist has proposed marriages with an expiration date. Marriages, Catholics.
Here we go. We have an out.
Till death do us part. Till death do us part. Or maybe we'll just do a 7 year. Because they always talk about the 7 year itch, right?
Yeah.
So 7 years, and then you can. It will expire. Jeez. You can renew it if you want to, and keep renewing it indefinitely, like your Amazon account.
Or 7 years is long, bro. How about 8 months?
Yeah.
It's like a fostering.
74%.
Find your forever home.
74% of the readers absolutely hated the idea, but that means that there's 25% out there that would go for it.
That's us.
You know, just
because they're forever single.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that was fun. And you shake hands, friends. And you just go, I just don't see myself doing this for another 5 or 7 years.
No harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul. And you just then the divorce rate won't be so high. Anyway, 8:24 in the morning. Always amusing to take marriage and relationship advice from a guy that's been divorced twice. Real Joe's on the phone.
It makes people mad.
Ken, man, the other governor.
Oh, the other governor, Leon
wants
Guerrero.
to wish you a welcome home.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, look, if this was easy peasy, I went to go pick up Shelly and escort her back home. And make sure she got a good chair in the airplane and all of that stuff. Say, Ken, how you doing? The other governor, Leon Guerrero. What are we going to call you when this administration ends? I was thinking about that on the airplane. What am I going to call Ken LG when there's no longer Leon Guerrero in the governor's office?
Ken. I know that sounds kind of hard, but let's try it out. Ken.
Just Ken.
Yep.
Huh. It's a little bit of a polish that it's missing here. I don't know. The other Ken Core?
Do the Avocado King.
Avocado King, maybe.
Hey, well, we've got time to work it out because, maybe Lou's going to take a page out of Trump's agenda and declare that he's going to run in 2026 in the absence of any other viable Democratic candidate. She has declared herself queen for...
Stand by. So here's the way it works, she can run as Josh Tenorio's lieutenant governor.
There you go.
And then if the insinuations turn out to be true, then they can Article 25 Josh and then move Lou back up and back to the governor's office.
Well, they don't even have to do that because, she can let Josh be the figurehead and she can pull all the strings behind the scene like she does now when Josh is acting governor and let him take the blame for everything that goes wrong, which will be everything, while she continues to find ways to improve the family business.
That's how you see it.
That's how I see it.
There we go.
Why else hasn't he got a running mate other than the fact that he's so toxic right now that no Democrat with a hope for a future will run?
Well, maybe he'll find a Democrat that doesn't have hope for the future as much as they've got a strong background and strong past.
Well, that remains to be seen. I mean, look at how late we are in the season, and he still hasn't found a running mate.
We're not late in the season, Ken. It's not late in the season. I did the countdown again. There's 251 days between now and the primary election, and 328 days between now and the general election. I think we're going to get past the holidays, and maybe as it gets to be closer to Valentine's, and the first 80 or 90 days of 2026. I think are when we're going to see the full-throated, full-throttle campaigns beginning.
Yeah, well, when did Lou declare last time? 2014, when she first ran for governor. She declared 2 years in advance. So here we are, just days away in political years, I mean, it's already high time in the politics season, and he still hasn't found a running mate. So... But that wasn't what I wanted.
Well, that's because Joe's got Santa Claus. I think Santa Claus was his first pick, but Joe St. Augustine picked up on that one early. There's movement. There's movement to be sure, and the complexion of at least one team has changed. But the recovery is interesting, and that's all I'm technically allowed to say about that.
Well, we'll see.
I can keep a secret. That's the point. Donna's like, what? I can keep a secret. People tell me things in confidence, and the deal is just try to act surprised when I announce, okay? And so that's I was told something in confidence, and I'll try to act surprised when the announcement is made. And even the quote announcements that are made are you can never tell sometimes. This is Guam politics. But you can never tell sometimes where it's an actual official announcement or we're just throwing it out there. We got a sticker made, we got a poster made, and we're going to put that out there and see if anybody salutes, like Eddie Calvo did with Speaker Forbes years ago. They crafted a little miniature campaign to kind of test things out. And it's 2025 now, and you can do anything you want to with artificial intelligence and things like. We don't need to create imagery now. We can put that picture together of Mary Torres and Jimmy Moylan. You want? Actually, I've got a picture of Mary Torres and Jimmy Moylan. Wouldn't that make an interesting gubernatorial team?
I'll reserve my comments on that. I like Mary Torres. I'm not all that crazy about Jim Moylan.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. It's Trump derangement syndrome and Moylan derangement syndrome as well. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I got you in a box there, Ken. Sorry about that. What current event thing did you want to call in about? I mean, there's a lot out there. Front page of today's Guam Daily Post that Real Joe got me. Is a streamlined process for housing temporary workforce. Governor asking the public to comment on the draft programmatic agreement. We've got the plebiscite conversation. Ta-da. Oh, that's the bingo. That's what he wants to talk about. All right, go ahead.
Just the comments from Melvin Borja. I mean, there is a guy, you read the comments and read between the lines. Basically what he's doing is, I want to hold on to my six-figure job with benefits. And if we do anything that puts that in jeopardy, I'm against it. And
that's my read as well. That's my read as well. It's a crafty conversation that he and the governor and others are having about the what is it? I gotta find the quote from the actual story here. Something about it's the right of the colonized to determine how they're going to be decolonized.
Yeah, there's a process in place. Puerto Rico's going through it. Cuba went through it. The Philippines went through it. It's just Guam refuses to do it because the moment Guam takes any active step, they're going to discover that The majority of the people on Guam are satisfied with the status quo. We like paying one set of tax. We don't want to pay federal tax and Guam state tax. They don't want to be an independent nation because Guam has nothing to offer in the way of independence. We're not like Qatar or Saudi Arabia or anything like that. They got their independence from the British because they had oil. What do we have? Trash. Not the same thing. You know? We don't have a large population.
Let me quote Mr. Wanpat Bora here. Is the international global standard for self-determination and decolonization is that it is the right to decolonize is the right of the colonized, which is going to go right back to race-based voting in this, and that has already been canceled by the Constitution and the United States and the Supreme Court of the United States of America, thanks to Dave Davis. I think the guy's lawyer was Chris Adams back in the day, and I've interviewed those guys many times, and we've talked about this, and that's just the way it is. And they say, well, we can't do anything under the Constitution of the United States of America, and they throw that out there as the ultimate stopping block. Which a stumbling block, which means that we've still got to figure out a way to get around the Constitution. And as citizens of the United States of America, there's no getting around the Constitution of the United States of America.
Well, there would be if we had a strong and robust, large population, and we did an Opera Harbor Tea Party. Because remember, a small group of people disenfranchised, broke away from the leading power of the world at the time. But we don't have that.
Well, but they also fought a war to do that. You want to fight a war?
Well, we don't have the backbone for that either. So here's what's happened. We've already gone through political status change. So we went through it when Spanish came here. We went through a status change. We went through it when the Americans took over in 1899, and then we went through it when the Japanese came, and then we went through it again when the Americans came back, and we went through it in 1950. Since 1950, we haven't done anything.
So the other way, if we had if the colonizer in this case was a little bit I don't know, more evil, more tyrannical, there would be the process of genocide that they'd use to eliminate these noisy voices.
Well, you bring up a good point. The reason there was a Boston Tea Party is the colonizer at that time was extracting all the money they could out of the colonies. And in this case, the colonizer is forcing us to eat as much money as we can possibly eat. It's hard to get resistance movement going when every time you open your mouth, there's stuff a check in it.
Yeah, I got you. Here's some more food stamps. Here's some more of the federal money for these all 100 other programs. And the other thing is, the conversation about, well, what about the people of Guam? Will the people of Guam that live in the States be allowed to vote in this plebiscite?
Well, there was all kinds of things floating around back about 10 years ago on that, because there's 360,000 people who claim Guam ancestry. I can't remember which professor documented it, but it was a big thing about 10 or 15 years ago. The dysphoria of Guam, 360,000 people, direct descendants of the dysphoria of Guam who left after the war in subsequent waves, The whole thing is we don't have an indigenous people anymore. We're not like the Indians. The Indians can trace their indigenous back through time, and they're still pretty indigenous. We've been intermarried so many times that we don't have any indigenous. I'm probably one of the closest things to an indigenous person you will talk to because my grandmother was pure Chamorro. Documented, pure Chamorro.
But,
I'm a quarter.
But what's interesting to me, though, I've got to laugh. So Ray Gibson show talking about this measure that was introduced by Will Parkinson. And another side comment from Jimmy Moylan. 3 non-indigenous names that are having the conversation. I always thought it was amusing that among the big conversation lists included my Uncle Robert Underwood.
Yeah, I had a big kick out of it too, because I'd be up there testifying before the commission, And, we had, God, I'm spacing out on his name right now, but we had like 3 Chamorro activists, and they all have
Anglo last names, Howley last names.
Yeah,
it's still funny.
The one testifying against this Joaquin Vicente Leon Guerrero,
De Leon Guerrero. All right, well,
Yeah.
And even that, is where's that name come from?
Spanish.
There you go. The original
My
colonizers.
grandmother was pure Spanish. My grandmother was pure Chamorro. I'm pure American.
8:36. Ken, I got to let you run here. I'm not crazy about this phone that you're on, by the way. So if you can change back to something else, that would be awesome.
All right, next time.
Shoot, 888-8255, 888-TALK. The concepts that we have a great time agreeing on. I found, I'm going to leave Donna's coming up with the last big look at news and headlines. I've got a lot of work to do for celebrity birthdays, etc. But I wanted to get this out here as a piece of news. A trailer for the upcoming screenings of the extended editions of the Lord of the Rings trilogy has been released. It's just the trailer. In January, next month, Fathom will screen the full 3.5-hour extended editions of all 3 movies. Ooh. Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and The Return of the Kings, one each night during the last 2 weeks of January. The theatrical re-release kicks off the 25th anniversary celebration of the first film, Fellowship of the Ring, which is based on the Tolkien's 1954 Fellowship of the Ring book, and it first hit theaters in December of the year 2000.
I hope they do that
and
here.
So, what's that?
You do that here? We never do those here.
We never do the fun things here.
Yeah.
Do we have nice popcorn buckets? No, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. I don't know. They're supposed to be in order to help justify the extreme price of popcorn and things at the concession stand. They now come in fancier boxes and fancier, more souvenirs of that kind of thing. So I don't know what they're going to be doing around here. Re-release of the 25th anniversary. I'd love to see them in the movie theaters, but you'd almost need to bring your own pillows and blankets and a little cot because we're talking about 10 and a half hours. 10.5 hours of the movies, if you were to, as Donna would say, the best weekend ever is when you string them all together. Watch them all at once. 8:38 in the morning. Donna D with news and headlines coming up next.
Boss, I got run over by a forklift.
Boss, I crashed a company truck.
What do we do? Our warehouse and inventory are gone.
Hi, this is Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and it's time for Risk 101. Everything you just heard are examples of risk your businesses can face. Our job is to ask the hard what-if questions and teach you how to reduce your exposures and help you recover if things go sideways. We've got decades of experience in Micronesia working with businesses big and small. Call AB Risk Solutions today at 777-2668 for a free inspection and quote.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
Guam Regional Medical City presents Your Gut, Our Focus. From digestive issues to advanced diagnostics. Join us Saturday, December 13th from 10 to noon at the Micronesia Mall Center Court for a community event focused on digestive wellness. Meet GRMC's team from gastroenterology, patient education, patient experience, and referral management. And learn how we can support your digestive health. At 10:30, enjoy a special presentation with Dr. Jill along with guests from ANX Robotics and GI Digital. Enjoy free vital checks, vendor booths, raffle prizes, and your chance to win the grand prize, a 55-inch smart TV. This event is free and open to the public. Join us December 13th at the Micronesia Mall.
I don't know why I care about this. I don't know why there's a certain amount of, it's not an ARG moment. And maybe if it is a little bit of an ARG moment, normally I would not care about this kind of thing. But there was a time before I was restarted my talk radio career path where I was listening to a lot of contemporary music, and I was really, really stuck on Katy Perry. I borderline crushing on Katy Perry. What? No, wait, hold.
She got a new boyfriend.
She's got a new boyfriend.
And we do not like him.
This pisses me off to no end, as the man says. Is it that French Canadian? Yes, it's the guy, Justin Trudeau. There you go, that's his name. I'm like,
yeah, man, they hooked up.
Bro,
I hate
all of the guys that she could have hooked up with. And they say, yeah, she says he's got a little bit of a crazy streak. I don't know that they're good or bad.
I guess that's why.
But I'm sitting there going, of all of the men that Katy Perry could have, and she's good looking. And she's telling you.
Picked him over Legolas.
And she's, so she's going after
The one that got
the
away.
king,
Oh
the
my
king
God.
of the beta males, the king of the soy boys.
Yeah.
What's a soy boy?
Soy is the most. You remember? You know,
God.
always,
Steps all
always
over
make,
him, Ray.
always make jokes about guys that wear high water pants
Soft.
and no socks.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a soy boy?
Yeah,
They like the soy latte.
Yeah.
Oh, soy.
Can't even get,
Okay.
Kevin can't even enjoy real milk from a real animal, right? We got to get something made from a plant.
Yeah, from soy cows.
And just kind of the effeminate beta male.
Oh, I got stomachache now.
Yeah, is the she could have had any real man that she wanted, but
She had Legolas.
Right?
Yeah.
Just saying. Okay. I'm sorry, I needed to get that out of my system.
I feel better now.
Donna D with her last big look at news and headlines. Donna, what's going on?
Delito Mayor Peter Beneventi is asking for funding to fix long-delayed repairs at the village's 40-year-old senior center. Broken ADA doors, leaky ceilings, faulty plumbing, and electrical issues remain, some from Typhoon Mawar in 2023. With FEMA funding pending, staff and seniors have stepped in to patch the building. Beneventi hopes real repairs begin before Senior Citizens Month in May. Meanwhile, a new partnership between Astro America, the Colorado School of Mines, and UOG will bring a 4-year mechanical engineering program focused on 3D printing to Guam. Students will study 2 years at UOG and 2 years with mines faculty on island. The Navy is considering $12 million in support, and classes are expected to start in fall 2026. And the Simon Sanchez High School reconstruction is suspended by a procurement protest filed by General Pacific Services. The protest claims the Cortec International Award exceeds the $166.365 million legal financing gap. Public Works released the full record defending the integrity of the process. The scoring showed only a 3-point difference between the first and second ranked contractors. And that was your last look at local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
Okay. So a couple of things that are in my head right now. Methyl bromide.
That sounds familiar.
It's from a news story
That's the good stuff. Yeah.
Like, why does
That's
it sound
better
familiar?
than Dildren.
Because apparently it's what they use to kill varmints that might be coming in the containers filled with Christmas trees.
That's the fumigation,
Christmas tree. Okay.
Yeah, so
and it's not good for human beings.
See, that's the question that I've got. So they're using methyl bromide, and if it kills bugs, and then I take the tree that's been sitting in a soup of methyl bromide, and then stick it in the house, how much of that methyl bromide is now in my living room underneath the tree? This is why I have plastic.
Man, I've been sniffing my fresh wreath that I got from Home Depot.
Just curious. Maybe that's where the smell comes from.
Right.
Maybe that's
that beautiful pine
winter
smell.
green smell. 8:43. Susan Day.
Oh, I know her.
Speaking of boy crushes, she is. I think younger people know her from a TV show.
Seeking Susan?
No, she was Susan Day from the Partridge Family.
Yeah, the sister. What's her name?
I can't remember.
I just remember her face.
Lovely eyes.
Yeah.
Probably still. Susan Day is 74 years old.
Whoa.
TV chef Bobby Flay. 62 years old.
Really?
I liked Bobby Flay for about 20 minutes,
He
and
looks
then
stressed.
he did that Iron Man thing.
Yes, me too.
And he stood on the cutting board.
How rude.
Oh, my God. And,
How disrespectful.
And the Iron
The
chef
audacity.
from Japan was personally insulted by that.
Yeah. It was Morimoto.
That's right. It was Morimoto.
I remember that.
That pissed off everybody who loves Japan.
Yes.
For sure.
All of the Japanophiles were just amazingly insulted on that. And his apology, I recall he did come out and do some kind of a apology, but it was, he did that for TV. Anyway, so the girl from That's So Raymond.
What?
That's So Raven. Raven Simone.
Oh, yeah. How old is she?
Yeah, write that down. That's funny. That's So Raven. Wait, hold on. She is 41 years old.
Aw.
And Melissa Roxborough from Manifest and the Diary of a Wimpy Kid is 34 years old today. Diary of a Wimpy. You've never watched that?
No.
It was the
Is that
adolescent book
a show
that they turned into movies.
Oh, movies?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I've heard of it, but I didn't see it.
It's Zootopia of its time.
Oh.
Which is apparently the big deal with teenagers and tweeners.
Yeah.
That's what? I was around a couple of tweeners, and they said, "Oh, we're going to the movies. What are you watching? Zootopia." And the conversation ends right there because I don't know what the hell any of that stuff's about anymore. Does it have
like there's animals?
Is The Rock in it? Is there anybody I know? Like a cartoon or something like that. Anyway, 8:45 in the morning. Did you already do news?
I did.
Okay, good. Oh, Zay Martinez with a memory about Susan Day.
What?
Come on, get happy.
Yeah.
That was the big song that they had. Nick Nichols says Katy Perry is talented, but she's a lefty Looney Tune. She's got to be a lefty Looney Tune if she's in some kind of a relationship with Justin Trudeau. But frankly, the very, very interesting thing that we find out from this is that Justin Trudeau apparently likes girls.
Wow. Oh, that's right.
It never occurred,
right over our head.
Never occurred to me that he would have a thing for a member of the opposite sex, one way or the other. I wonder if this is going to get taken out of. Now I'm wondering if we're going to get censored by Meta or YouTube.
Why?
Because they're like, I'm sure they're Justin fans.
Oh, okay. I was like, are they besties? Okay.
I'm sure there's something like that. So,
Sorry.
A guy from Guam is throwing shade at Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry. Take him off. Get him. Make him pay for a feed. Where were we? 8:46 in the morning. Okay, so since we're done with that, I don't think I've got a special events for. Oh, I do. It's Dewey Decimal System Day.
There we go.
Oh, let's throw a parade. Lager Day.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we need. Lager.
As in beer.
As in beer.
Okay.
Okay, I wasn't sure, like lager as in logs.
Yeah, I thought you meant lumberjack.
No. So only lumberjack things we like around here, lumberjack girlfriends. And for whatever it's worth, Nobel Prize Day. And when they gave the Peace Prize to Barack Obama for doing absolutely nothing other than winning an election in the United States of America.
What did they say it was for? I never
It was a Peace Prize. They gave him a Peace Prize, but it was like the first thing, and there's the first Nobel Prize Day in his administration. I'm going, well, he hasn't actually done anything
Surviving
yet.
Big Mike.
Yeah. And you've got Donald Trump, who in the first 200 days of his administration, the only war that he has not stopped yet are the two most visible, Russia and Ukraine. And then the thing with Israel and the Palestinians and the Hamas. And the only reason is he hasn't been able to do anything on that one is because between the four different entities I mentioned, I don't think anybody trusts any of them. The only thing I think that we all agree on is the Palestinians should not have invaded Israel the way that they did and do that wholesale slaughter of hundreds of people and hostage taking. They got and now they're returning bodies. They're just corpses of. It's just so. Yeah, every time I think about that, I just think about just how awful war in general is. But even the even more awful thing is that there's a warehouse apparently someplace where they had staged all these corpses, knowing that that the families would want them back. Basically, you've got a living hostage and you've got a dead hostage, and there's just something ghoulish about holding on to somebody's corpse and using it to extract money or using it as a bargaining chip, one way or the other. At any rate, that's just me now. 8:48 in the Ray Gibson Show. Probably a good time to grab a break here, and I'll return in a sec.
Coming January 24th to the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. The Cover Girls, live on Guam. Angel, the original cover girl, and her iconic voice, singing all their hits like Because of You, Promise Me, Inside Out, and Show Me. Joining them on stage, the queen of dance, EDM, and freestyle, Shannon. Also, 90s freestyle diva singing all her hits, Jocelyn Enriquez.
The radio plays our favorite song, and it's what keeps me holding on. Baby, do you miss me?
Brought to you by Choice Broadcasting, Trivision Media, and Cherry Media. This is a Jams Media show you don't want to miss. Tickets and info at guamtime.net.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and all of us at Security Title want to wish you a joyous holiday season. We are grateful for your continued trust and support, and we look forward to serving you in the new year. May your homes be filled with warmth, laughter, and love this Christmas. From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Security Title, celebrating over 25 years as your trusted partner in real estate.
15 days till Christmas. This Christmas countdown is brought to you by Carrier Guam. Daily savings on all our high wall units, both Carrier and Toshiba splits.
$8:50 in the morning. All right. I like it when there's conversations, debates, if you will, and actual experts chime in. This one, commentary from my bro, Mike Phillips, who says the Treaty of Paris required Congress exclusively to determine the political status of the people of Guam. The reason that since 1903, our leaders have always petitioned and lobbied Congress. There's no shortcut. And yes, Congress can grant true self-determination as the United States Charter mandates, which the United States again signed and founded. The answer is go to Congress. Nothing else really counts. You can do whatever you want to. You play all your reindeer games around here, have all your open houses, and maybe a little plebiscite here, and do all of that stuff. But unless you actually take the step and go to Congress and talk to them. And who was it that said Frank Blass Jr.? He said, interesting that, we want to be able to put together some kind of idea of how we want to frame the relationship between the people of Guam and the government of the United States of America. Maybe it would be interesting to go to them and say, hey, maybe we'll do it like that marriage thing. We've been together.
We need to renew our vows.
On and off. We've been together on and off since 1944, liberation.
Common law.
All yes, yeah. Maybe it's time that we had a conversation about all of this and go to Congress and have them put together a little bit of. There should be a commission of decolonization.
Well, what are their intentions?
Yes, in Washington D.C. 8:52 in the morning. Portions of the broadcast made possible by my friends over at Medical City. This is the one in Ortigas. I was right there. And they're your friends too. Maybe you want to do a physical or I would actually suggest this. If you got time, be like the Chamorro family that I ran into over at, where was it? Rastan's?
Here?
Yeah. No,
is that the
Philippines.
foreign exchange?
No. No,
Rastan's foreign exchange.
The department store. Anyway, so I'm walking. I'd gone in there to get beer. Anybody surprised?
They recognized you.
And as I'm passing by this family, and they look Chamorro. They look like they were from around here, and I almost did that thing with the head nod that we do, and I thought, well, maybe not, but it sure looks like they're a family of Chamorros that were doing some Christmas shopping in Philippines, and so as I'm passing by, I got bionic ears, and I heard the guy say, "There's Mr. Gibson." I said, "Wait, Mr. What?" And I turned around and said, "Call me Ray." And they said their names. Now, obviously, I forgot them because I'm dumb. But there is, and the thing was, the reason why I almost automatically thought that they were from here was the way the mom was scolding the kids for being missing for a couple of seconds. And they were like, "Okay, you guys, that's where you are. Okay, don't stray." It was the way that she said it, and I'm listening. That's a Chamorro mom. But I didn't say anything. But when they did the Mr. Gibson thing, I'm like, okay, we engaged in a conversation, and I told them what I was up to. They told me what they were up to. It was a really kind of a terrific and unexpected homecoming that happened on the streets of Manila. Normally, they happen in the lobby at places like Medical City in the Philippines. But maybe here's my idea, because there's going to be New Year's resolution time soon. This is what you do. You get on a plane, Philippine Airlines, and they got great holiday rates going out there. And you get on the airplane, and you go, and they can arrange all this for you too over at the referral office. And then go get your physical done at Medical City. And then once you've got your baseline, you have to share those. Okay, I'm just saying. Mango tarts. Only had the one box of mango tarts. But you tell them what it is that you're interested in doing for 2026, and they can give you a baseline that will show your level of preparedness for any kind of radical diets that you want to go on. Maybe intermittent fasting is a thing that they can talk you into, or maybe how ready is your body for extremes in either bodybuilding or cardio and all of that stuff. Go find out how ready you are for your New Year's resolutions. Use that as a baseline. And if anything, Say you've been to the Philippines without saying you've been to the Philippines. If anything, if ever, then you can use that as a baseline, and you've got something that you can check on again for next year when you do your New Year's resolutions for 2027. How's that for a plan? Call them at not the Rand Care building, but call them on the phone and arrange an appointment. 645-5655. Also, tantalizing conversations. Where is this? The guy says, regards to casino, like the former Senator Nelson stated, there's a law already in place, no more discussion. And I forgot what law that was.
Oh, my God. Which one? Ted or Telena?
Ted.
Uncle Ted or Telena? Telena.
Maybe, well... That you make a good point.
Yeah, I'm just
because Telena said there's not going to be any gambling on gaming of that kind in the carnivals and stuff. But they've gone back over that over the years. Any casino callers or Facebook about revenue for Guam should be brought up. There is a law in place. Okay, give me the chapter and verse on that one. KZPD, appreciate that. 888-825-888-TALK. Roman De La Cruz has sent in a video. I played parts of it a little bit earlier. Real Joe with the on this. What is this a video of?
That's they're honoring the Insular Guard and the Combat Patrol people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but this was a couple months back, but they were already doing it.
So they went out there with they blew the horn,
they blew the horn.
Nice, and
they swung around.
Was there
the
sling
slings.
stones?
I hope not, man.
No, it's his sling group.
Yeah,
and they're awesome. I love it because it's like old guys. And then there's little kids that are doing this stuff. They just get out there. It's not like you got to make a sling stone or anything like that. I mean, you can just do it with regular rocks. And I'm threatening because I found one of the slings.
Oh, nice.
I found a sling.
He's got a weapon.
I've got one in, but I don't. How do I want to say it?
Dude, when you go to the beach.
I'm just kind of no. There's a way that you got to do it. Like Linda Blair in Exorcist 2.
Yeah.
You got to get that motion in place. And if you don't, there's a possibility that when you do release it, you can actually hit somebody. And they used them to kill the Spaniards. So we know that to a degree they can be very effective. Jay online asking, Ray, how was First World Philippines?
Wow, is that a dig at Guam?
What? Oh my God! Can I tell you this? I did not in the center of their retail and investment area, the banking area and finance that is Makati. I did not see one homeless person. I did not see any homeless person. I did not see any graffiti. As I was walking and getting ready to go do my jogging and etc., there were men and women whose first order of the day was to go out there with a Wallace, with a broom, and sweep up the sidewalks.
Nice.
And so it's obviously leaves and things like that fall off the beautiful trees that they've got there that needed cleaning up. But you had to look if you wanted to find just like litter. A napkin or the cover of a coffee thing or what, you had to look for that. There was none of it that was obvious to me. So yeah, it was. I thought it was very first world. You get those frustrations every once in a while. There are still, believe it or not, 7-Elevens that you go to in the Philippines, even in Makati, where it's cash only. There needs to be a sign. There needs to, what they also didn't have in the place.
What?
I didn't see any EBTs accepted here.
Oh.
I did not see any of those in the place. People, you got to hustle if you want to eat tonight, and there were a lot of people out there doing some of the hustling. I don't know, to a degree. I can talk about it, but there's another to a degree where people go, I'm glad you went on a trip. I'm glad it was successful with Shelley and all of that stuff. But we don't need the travel log. We don't need to hear every little bit and piece about the Philippines. So I'll try to drop in bits and pieces here and there. It's 9. Here's the news.
Sarah, Fox News. President Trump speaking this hour in the battleground state of Pennsylvania as he works to get his message out and fight off attacks from Democrats who claim his agenda is hurting Americans.
We're told by the White House that he will, of course, tout his big, beautiful bill and all those tax cuts and tax savings that Americans are going to receive next year. That includes extending those 2017 tax cuts, so no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. lifetime Social Security savings as well, not to mention unleashing American energy and deregulation. That is going to hit with Pennsylvania residents.
Fox's Aisha Hasni in Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania. The Senate expected to vote this week on an alternative to the Affordable Care Act.
It drives down, according to the Congressional Budget Office, premiums by double-digit levels. It delivers the benefit directly to the patient, not to the insurance company, and it does it in a way that actually saves money.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune, the plan would allow Affordable Care Act subsidies to expire, replacing them with government-funded health savings accounts for millions of Americans. Senate Democratic Leader Chuck Schumer says his party has its own plan.
Democrats have put forward the cleanest, fastest, most realistic solution, a 3-year extension of the current tax credits. No gimmicks. No poison pills.
Test votes on both expected Thursday, but neither is expected to get the 60 votes needed to advance. At least one person has died, another critically hurt in a shooting at Kentucky State University. Police in Frankfort say the suspect's in custody and the campus remains on lockdown, though it's not clear where the shooting happened. Kentucky State is a public, historically black university with about 2,200 students. Wall Street, the Dow lost 179, the NASDAQ plus 30. America's listening to Fox News.
The Hilton Guam Resort and Spa is hosting a celestial New Year's Eve countdown. This is an open bar New Year's Eve party at the Tree Bar, and tickets are only $60 per person or $100 per couple. DJ Mark kicks the New Year's Eve mix off at 9 p.m., and then it's a night full of raffle prizes, specialty cosmic cocktails, and a grand deal champagne toast at midnight. Dinner patrons at the Hilton that night get discounted no-host bar tickets for only $15. Get tickets at guamtime.net and at the Hilton front desk. Bud Light reminds you that responsibility matters.
First impressions start with a smile. Call the FHP Dental Clinic for quality dental care. Need a cleaning? Maybe a filling or another dental procedure? When you smile, everyone around you smiles. Now accepting new patients. Call 671-646-5825 extension 8562 for appointments. Most insurance plans accepted, including Take Care and GovGuam self-funded. Self-pay patients welcome. FHP Dental Clinic. Our island, your clinic.
New Jersey twin brothers arrested, charged with threatening a high-ranking Homeland Security official.
Federal officials arrested Ricardo Roman Flores and his twin brother, Emilio. The Department of Homeland Security said in a release they threatened to kill the agency's Assistant Secretary, Tricia McLaughlin, and posted a call on social media to shoot ICE agents on site. The brothers, both U.S. citizens, face conspiracy counts for making terroristic threats. Emilio Roman Flores also faces weapons charges and cyber harassment. Both are being held on those federal counts by the Absecon, New Jersey Police Department. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
One day after Florida Governor Ron DeSantis designated the Council on American Islamic Relations a foreign terrorist organization, leaders of the group's chapter in the state have promised to file a lawsuit. And they say the state has no legal basis for such a declaration. CARE's Deputy Executive Director Hiba Ram blamed the DeSantis' support for Israel as a reason for the executive order because she said the group's activism has caused discomfort for Israel. Florida has about 500,000 Muslim residents. The lead singer of the Mavericks has died.
Raul Malo, the soulful tenor and frontman of the Grammy-winning band The Mavericks, has died at 60 years old. His wife, Betty Malo, announced his passing Monday night on his Facebook page. Malo had been battling cancer, openly sharing his health struggle since revealing in June of 2024 that he was undergoing treatment for colon cancer. In September, he disclosed on Instagram that he was also facing a rare and devastating condition that occurs when cancer spreads to the membranes surrounding the brain and spinal cord. The Mavericks are known for their genre-bending blend of country, rock, and Latin influence.
Fox's Michelle Polino. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Breathe easy this Christmas with Carrier Guam. Keep your home merry, bright, and fresh with our XL Air Purifier. Now just $265 while supplies last. With 3-in-1 filters and LED air quality monitoring, it's the perfect gift of clean air for your family. Visit Carrier Guam in Harmon Industrial Park behind Kmart or call 671-647-2665. Carrier, your local source for comfort and quality this holiday season. Carrier Guam, turn to the experts this Christmas.
For all your real estate needs, call the professionals at Holiday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, and Lolita, and they'll take care of you on every step of the real estate process. No worries. Just contact Holiday Realty at 588-4232 or 588-HOFFA or email them at hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They're at 426 Challenge San Antonio, Suite 204 in Tamuning. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. Holiday Realty for all your real estate needs.
Big news! At GTA, everyone gets the best deal. Right now, score $300 off when you grab any flagship smartphone on HBO 30 with our Live Unlimited plan. That's right, no gimmicks, no hidden hoops, just the latest smartphones, the plan you love, and a deal that works for everyone. Don't wait, upgrade today and put that $300 back in your pocket. GTA, we start with you. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, 15 more days till Christmas. Get the perfect Shinarp gift at the local shop or bladesbycrank.com.
Hey, it's the Ray Gibson Show, everybody. Portions brought to you by APL, American President Lines, global presence with a local home. Hey, Joe, is it time for me to sell a car?
It's time to sell a car or a truck.
I'm going to sell a Nissan. That's what I'm going to do. Listen, they're closing in on the end of the model year 2025, and they've still got some 2025s on the lot. Need to clear those things out. That's why they've invoked the name of the clearance team, ready to make deals and get you steals on your brand new Nissan. Savings up to $8,680 on the entire inventory. That means you can buy more Nissan with those kinds of savings, or pocket the cash and then blow it on yourself. Until we get that $2,000 check from Donald Trump on the tariff rebate. Is that still a thing? Or are we still? We still need to. We got to send him that reminder.
We're hopeful.
And you know what's going to be interesting? You know who I want to talk to at some point? Maybe that week between Christmas and New Year's, because it might actually make a difference. One of the Benita Sita Manglotnia. Her. I want to talk to Benita because there's supposed to be some Trump changes in the way that tax is supposed to be done this year. It's supposed to be a whole lot less taxes on folks in the middle class, like me and you. At least I'm saying me and you because I'm presuming that none of us are like super oh my God rich that are in this.
I am.
Oh, you are. I mean, if there is somebody that's oh my God super rich out here, listen. If you're not using that Bitcoin right now, can I have it? But anyway, where was I? I was talking about go to NissanGuam.com on the World Wide Web. Talk to them about savings. Do the test drive. It's all the same. The only difference is you're going to save more money on the vehicle, starting with the Versas, go all the way up to the Frontier King Crabs like I've got. You want deals? Start now. Get yourself pre-approved at NissanGuam.com.
The Ray Gibson Show. Any speaker, anytime. Morning talk that matters.
That's nice. Jerome McDonald. Not Jerome. Jose Martinez with a tip for your holiday music. If you're looking for something to listen to, he says, The Mavericks, Hey, Merry Christmas is a great holiday album. Give it a spin. Go to your favorite music streaming service and look up The Mavericks, Hey, Merry Christmas, and see what that's all about. I've got a favorite Christmas song. It's the one with the Indians.
Indians?
Just hear the ring, ding, 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 ding.
And they just tilt their head back and forth.
I've not seen the video. I've not seen the video for that, but it's attached to one of these YouTube things or TikToky things. Where they've got the woman's eating a tin of Christmas cookies, and we've seen it. They sell it in the stores, and then she flips it over and says "Made in India," and then it goes from that video to videos of guys that are literally making cookies and biscuits in a dirt thing. It's like dirt walls, dirt ceiling, dirt floor. Does not look like it doesn't look like anybody from even our public health division of environmental health has ever been in at all. There's no hair buns or any of that stuff. But hey, they're good cookies.
They taste great.
They taste awesome. So Just saying. Maybe it ought to be something that. But for those of you with sensitivities, perhaps always check and see if you can where it is that your food is originating from. What do we got? Comments on the YouTube side. John Mercado says, "Welcome back, good brother. Good to be home. Oh, brother. It's terrific to be home. There's still, and it was odd. Maybe I was tired, or maybe I was just, relieved in the escorting my big sister back. I was sitting in J, and she was sitting over in C on the Philippine Airlines. We were right next to each other, and I fell asleep. It's a red eye for sure, but even with red eyes, I don't normally sleep. But I did manage to sleep. I think I dreamed while I was on the airplane as well, and I woke up because they made the announcement that we were about to land. Literally,
chicken or fish?
No, no, I didn't eat on this flight. But it was like, oh, we're landing now. So I feel like we just took off. So it was one of those very, very comfortable flights, and it was nice. It's always fun to go someplace else and see what that's all about. But it's also always nice and very comforting when the airplane kind of flies around. You can pick out, all right, I know where I'm at now. Here's the landmark, or here's this set of lights that look like the port. Here's the set of lights that look like Agana, and then pretty soon there's the lights of the Shell gas station on Route 8, and you're coming in at 160 miles an hour, and the plane may be doing a little bit of a drift, a little bit of a bounce, and then it touches down, and you go, that's it, home again, jiggity jig. That is a terrific and very, very sweet feeling, and it's always nice when folks recognize that you've been out of town and welcome you home. That's nice. Who else is there? Vern Bates, Lupang Guam says, just imagine if we redirected all of the money wasted on debating decolonization and used that to fix parks and restrooms instead. Wouldn't that be something?
Did that cost us any money? No.
What's that?
Debating and questioning and talking.
Yes, there's a cost.
Money, huh?
There's a cost. Got the air conditioning at the legislature. That's on. We got to pay for that. There's a guy. He looks like a butler over at the legislature. We got to pay for him too.
Yes.
There's all of this stuff, and so. A little bit, and maybe we'll get Chris Duenas back on the line in the next couple of days, because it sounds like the conversation that I had with Sean leading to what feels like a conversation about taking a look at the spend. I mean, all of the spend of the government of Guam, and then zero basing that against the alleged return. For every dollar that we spend, what are we getting back? And when I say we, I mean me. What am I getting back from every dollar that the government spends? How much of that is coming back to me in some kind of service? Something,
those plastic bags
an
anymore.
Institution of one kind or another. What is it that I'm getting back? Because right now I'm seeing a whole lot of visible homeless in the downtown Agana area, which should be the second place a cash register rings on Guam.
Ooh,
the first place down in Tumon, obviously, and there's a lot of homeless down there as well. But you come to Agana, and there's Chamorro Village, and there's businesses, and you've got to avoid, of all places, the Cathedral Basilica at certain times of days, because the front of the Cathedral Basilica is absolutely infested with people, and that's among the things that the tourists like to look at as well. You got the VSOs in the park pushing the homeless away from the visitors there, but then they go and they hang out over with the church, and
those are the locals, Ray.
I don't know. I know.
That's your first interaction with the locals.
But I don't know what we can do about it. The last time anybody had an idea, they told Doug Mullen he couldn't do it, and it was outside the law. Anyway, 914. Who's on the phone?
Charlie Hermosa.
Hey, that's my pal. It's the guy. Hey, bro. So I can say it in person. Thank you very much for hanging out and taking care of the program for the last 3 days. I really, Shelley and I really appreciate you giving me the time I needed to go and conduct the rescue.
No. Well, 2 rescues, right? Obviously, you brought back Shelly safe, but with the cats. But like I said, we'll have that conversation over a beer and in person about all the cat postings you were doing. So,
oh my God! We need to do this here. We need to do it here. You want to talk about low cost, no cost, and it instantly gives personality to the place that we're talking about. And that is, we just get a whole bunch of they get dog lovers all over the place. I love cats, but let's go find all these feral cats. We'll take them over to the veterinarian, get them spayed, neutered, give them all the vitamins or whatever that they need, and then we'll bring them back to Tumon. We'll bring them back to Central Legania, the Plaza de España, and the area over by Chamorro Village and Skinner Plaza. And we'll just have a whole bunch of these cats going around there. Somebody needs to go out there and fill some water bowls and put some food out for them, and let that be part of the experience of being on Guam, is the cats of Legania, the cats of Tumon. I mean, there's you cannot pass by one of these cats and not take a picture. It's impossible.
And that's a great twist, right? I mean, as simple as that. That's something that we could really spin. But I always want to say thank you, Ray, and it's always an honor and pleasure to sit in that seat and with Donna V and Real Joe. So I'm always grateful for the opportunity to do it. So anytime, any place, just let me know, and I'll always be there.
Yeah.
That's a song, isn't it?
I'm
listening to a song, isn't it?
What's that? Ooh, what?
Was that a song or something? Anytime, any place.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll put it this way. I've got an ulterior motive here. Is I just want to make sure that you've got your name associated with the media and in the media, so that when it comes time for election, people aren't saying, "Who the hell is Charlie Hermosa?" I never heard of that guy. No, it's so 3 hours here, 3 hours there. That obviously will help a little bit with name recognition when it comes time to filling out things on the ballots.
No, I deeply appreciate it. It also gives us, a good perspective. Obviously from outside looking in, as far as the things that are happening on Guam, and also if you would allow me to just kind of put a quick plug, Ray. Obviously when I get off the radio, fired up, had already a whole couple of ounces of coffee. So I'm like, I mean, out of the studio, bam, like, straight in. There's nothing lagging. And so we're about 90%, the website is up. We're about 90% up and running on getting the mail and package delivery, sort of a revitalization for what we're trying to do, especially hitting the villages that haven't been able to get package or mail delivery. We're pretty much there. So we're going to have a soft launch next week. Just a couple of folks that had signed up for the service and were saying, hey, listen, I want to participate. And then I looked for a southern village, and Mayor Tony Chargala, he was gracious enough to say, absolutely, let's start down here. So in the new year, we're going to do a pilot program within the Lahan, and so all the the entire community there in the village, they can sign up for the package and mail delivery, and give it away. If you want to order things online, have at it, and if you have mail coming in, have at it. We'll deliver it to your village.
You're still in the shipping business, huh?
Yeah, no, I got back. I know exactly. It's almost like it's coming full circle. But what the intent was that originally, the phase 2 of all this has always been sort of how do we efficiently manage the delivery of goods. Drones are the phase 2, right? We're gonna straighten out the delivery network, and how does that look like, so that when we do launch drones, they exactly know where to go. And so obviously we don't have the best address system right now. So that was the part that we were trying to figure out. We figured it out. We got the tracking. We're able to complement all the Amazon, Walmart, any packages that are coming off island. We're able to complement and put those into the system as well. That black hole that everybody has been tracking, that is solved. So if your package is going through and it hits the West Coast, now you're going to have visibility. If it's stuck there, it's stuck there. You're going to actually see it, and then you're going to see the mode. If it's been loaded in an ocean container, if it's on a airplane coming over here, you're going to see the days between 17 to 19 days, or 3 to 4 days via air. So you're going to see the little tracking little gizmo that shows you the movement of all your packages, and those are the things that I think that will add a little bit to the first. Will take away from the frustration that people have. Like, it's like this little black hole. Like, I really don't know. The package hasn't been here. It's 30 days.
I've got several of those in my Amazon account right now, including the Elton John Caribou album, and I think there's some cat food or something that I'm still waiting on getting delivered here. 20 after 9. But one of the things, and it is always a fascinating thing. One of the lessons that I learned from Charlie when he was in the shipping business was among the concerns that you have is I'm happy if I've got a full container, right? So stuff is coming in over here. I'm the shipper, and I got all kinds of stuff going from California to Guam on this container, and this is a good thing. It's full. But the problem is the container now, when it goes back empty, and I can't think of a greater waste of space and energy than sending a container empty to go to get refilled to come back. So in my mind, you've got an opportunity to get double your returns if you can figure out a way to get stuff here in a full container, but ship it out in a full container. And so you scaled that back to what you're talking about doing with drones and vehicle deliveries. So how do we make it so that there's no empty hands? So if you're taking something down to somebody's house in Alahan, on the way back you can stop by Pirates Cove and get lunch or something like that. Swing by a store and get a couple of cases of beer.
No, exactly. I mean, that's sort of like the mindset, and it's not far off. These type of discussions that we're having. I mean, maybe 15 years ago you were like, okay, what? But we're on the brink. I think that I will say that within the next year, even less than a year, right, you're going to see the first personal drone pod, where drone pod lands, you get on it, and then it takes you to your destination. And so they have
there's a famous story in China of somebody being rescued by a drone that can handle. I think it's I didn't do the conversion, but something like 600 kilograms.
Right, exactly. I think they were either in a mountain or a village area. They were able to get them out. But two companies have been approved, and obviously the Department of Transportation and President Trump and Secretary Duffy. I mean, they've been just nonstop trying to move things and get the FAA to the next level and getting these transportation infrastructure absolutely to the next level. So. Within the next year, I would say we're going to start seeing drone pods flying, whether it's emergencies or personal movement from point A to point B, and that's the next evolution. So these discussions that we're having are not far-fetched, but the thing, at the end of the day, we need to have the infrastructure and to be able to do that. So obviously, we're creating the sort of what they're calling the sky highway. So there are going to be highways in the sky, obviously certain levels where you can fly, specifically routes that you can only fly with your drone pod. And it's a wave of the future. And just imagine being able to go from one side of the island to another in about 5-10 minutes. It's going to be crazy.
The future is here on the screen right now. We talked about this. I threatened to call you up and get your intake, your input on it. It's the air scooter, a company called Zapata, Zapati, exactly the way it sounds. Is marketing a product called an air scooter, the ultimate hybrid electric personal aircraft. Requires no license. From the FAA or anybody, and you can get trained in how to operate this thing in about an hour. And it looks like a drone, except it's got a little space for a human being to sit in. You got the cockpit, and the joystick in between your legs. That's you can infer whatever you want to here, but we're talking about the little flying thing. You got a little cockpit there. You strap yourself in, and then it operates like a drone, except you're not operating it through some kind of gizmo in your hand. You're flying the thing. And they're supposed to have decent speeds. There's a place in Las Vegas, I think, where you can actually get the training and fly one of these things around. They're expensive. But my guess is that over time and with competition, maybe the Chinese will develop something along the same lines and dump it in the United States of America. But at some point, this is going to be a big enough deal where all of the R&D costs will be taken care of by the early adopters, and you and I'll buy these things like iPhones.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's exactly it as well. I mean, because right now for that one, the one company that has been approved is called the Jetson. And so the Jetson, I believe it was priced at about $120,000 for one. But you could fly yourself, but also it can be pre-programmed, right? So if you have specific routes that you go into every day, you just get on it and it's automated, right? It's autonomous, and so that's the uniqueness about these drone pods. But bringing down the cost, and it's just going to be like computers. Every couple of months, as they bring down the cost of making these things. And I've written to the company. They're based out of Europe, and I said, if there's a place that you would love to test these things out, this is it. And so I sent them a whole video, a whole file, we've been actually communicating. I don't know how far that's going to go, but they actually returned my email, and they've been asking me questions and just kind of any details and data they need. I've been sending over. You never know. We'll see how that works.
Bro, test it out with the tourists here. The same way we've got these little scooters, renting scooters, renting bikes and stuff like that. There's no reason why we could not turn this into a part of our hospitality experience and teach the guy. You get into it over at the Hilton, and it will fly you all the way over to Vaki Tower and make a loop down around Beach Bar and then fly you back to the Hilton. We can do that for a few minutes a day. $400 a flight is what they're charging in some of the tourist destinations. Flight Center next to Las Vegas. They're opening that up in the next year or so, and they're I think somewhere in this. Let me just scooch down and see if I can find it again. Reserve your flight. Exclusive $400 early bird price. $400 multiplied by I don't know how many Koreans and how many Japanese butts we'd need to get into that chair. But there's the whole experience. We get the guys from like Skydive Guam. Those are the guys that I'd want to run this, right? Because they know how to put together a plan that will have because you make money off the incidentals too, like videos, right? So you got the video of the guy coming in, you got the guy getting into a flight suit and getting trained on what to do, a little bit of a classrooms thing. You get strapped them in, you got the cameras, the cameras in the gizmo, so you can see where the gizmo is going, you can see what the pilot's looking like. Edit all of that stuff together with an AI CapCut
Top
editor.
Gun music.
Yeah. Same music in the background, and bam, there's 400, 500, whatever.
And that could be, it's about the experience, right? And I think that those folks that have been doing that for years, and even those, the flights, the air flights that take you around, for 20, 30 minutes or even an hour around the island. I mean, those things, it goes a long way. And so, hopefully, that's the way we should be thinking, maybe pivoting a little bit on things that we were doing in the past, sort of in the old way, and kind of touching it up with a little bit of technology and kind of bringing that experience to the tourists. I think will go a long way.
Well, if we're putting $11 million into subsidizing airplane rides for our visitors, maybe we could take $1 million of that, grab a couple of these things, and have the government GVB lease it out to firms, so that might be part of something that we can develop here, or put it into the hands of somebody like a you or an I that are already in the game one way or the other, and help subsidize this next level thing. Maybe there's a GITA grant that we could write, or something that we could create, and make it so that it's easy for investors with this kind of technology to be able to go out there and say, hey, this is the next big thing. We thought parasailing was a big deal. And the guys over at Steve and his family over at ABC made a great living with those kinds of things. Is this the next skydive? Is this the next big air? What do you call it? Sky sailing, whatever. This could be something that, and we could be among the first in the Pacific to get it done. We could be the first Pacific destination. You want to try this new technology? We got cheap seats to Guam. Put you in a hotel and give you the quick pilot lesson. And for $400, you can go back and forth as many times as you want to.
Yeah,
what's the fail-safe on this? Just give me the technology behind something like this, because like I said, it looks like a drone, feels like a drone, it basically is a drone. So if we were to lose one of the little chopper things on the top of it, or maybe both of them, does it do an auto gyro down?
Yeah, so it's got both functions, but it's also similar to the Cessnas that have the parachute capability. If the Cessnas lose
that's right. Yep.
And they come down, the parachute comes out. That's what each one of these are equipped as well. It has a parachute. If it feels that it's losing the air bubble and it's losing altitude, then it's going to deploy the parachute. And the FAA and all the safety folks, it'll be able to land and float. But the beauty about landing is that we're surrounded by water, and it's easier to land. It's never easy to land, but I'm just saying that crash landing on a hard surface versus water is a little different. So
well, I mean, and how high are these things going to go? If I'm programming a ride, then I don't know that I'd go any higher than about 50 feet in this thing. I mean, that feels like it's survivable. 50. I'm thinking of cliff divers. I mean, they cliff dive 100 feet. They hit the water. I mean, it'll hurt. It'll get your attention, but it won't kill you. So something like that, where we're going to give you some altitude, and we're only going to fly you in a perceived in a pattern. And if it looks like things are going to go sideways, there ought to be a panic button somewhere where the driver can or the owner of the vehicle can say, "All right, come back home." Bring the thing. There's some kind of a malfunction, and so return to base, and we'll see what's going on. I'm just saying, there's a really, really cool technology. Yeah, and you could use it to deliver Ray Gibson beer at the beach.
That's going to be the goal. That's the goal. To get you to make sure that you're never empty.
There it is. That as it should be. There should be a panic button on my phone that says Charlie out of beer, sending location. Here's the pin. Drop it off now. I got to run. I'll talk to you pretty soon. And again, thanks so much for all of the assistance. It goes a long way in when I'm traveling, and I know Charlie is sitting in the chair, as it does with the other guest host.
Yeah, so you owe us.
Chris Duenas. There was a time when even Bob Klitsky was a guest host of the Ray Gibson Show from time to time. It's gonna get dicey. There's going to be a time where I won't be able to travel, or it will be more difficult to travel because anybody that guest hosts for me is guest hosting is also running for office. So there's a certain date where I cannot engage them anymore. 9:32. Lots of phone calls this morning.
Two long distance calls.
Why?
One from the Philippines and one from Inalahan.
Hi. Is it
Bob Kelly?
Oh.
Line 2 and Inalahan line 3.
Stand by. So let me grab Bob Inalahan's long distance. Okay, I got you.
It's far, bro.
Bob Klitsky was enjoying the Ray Gibson Show, long distance in Philippines. How was your dinner with the other Kellys?
Very, very good. They had a very interesting day. The only reason I didn't get together with you is I figured you would be very busy with Shelley, and we're tied up with that. Otherwise, I would have called you.
There obviously with 3 nights in Manila, I did not have a whole lot of other free time, and as it turns out, Tita Lea and Tita Books had a number of dinner and birthday party suggestions that I was a part of as well. So. Timing being what it was, I was delighted that I was able to meet up with Chuck and Desi Kelly in the morning, and then they told me that they were meeting up with you for dinner at night.
Yes. In fact, they just stayed and spent a whole day of enjoying people from Guam, it looks like.
Delightful.
But the reason I didn't contact you to get together is I figured you were very, very busy, and I knew I'd see you in Guam starting tomorrow, so no problem.
Well, the other part of this, and without getting too deep into a lot of details here, is Bob is in Bonifacio Global City. And I was in Makati. Normally, it's the other way around, where I'm in Bonifacio Global City, and somebody's calling me from Makati saying, let's get together. And the answer is, I'm not spending an hour in traffic just to go to Makati to see you. So if you're not coming to me, then never mind. On the screen right now are images of Chuck and Desi and myself in the dining room, one of the dining rooms over at the Peninsula. And the guy in the blue shirt, kind of leaning into the picture, is a fellow named Jose Marichan, who is notable for being one of the best songwriters and singers in the Philippines, and the guy that basically his Christmas albums are the playlist in the Philippines for Christmas time.
What I called about was hoping to get on with Charlie talking about drones. That was the only reason I decided to grab my phone and give you a call.
I didn't know that. You didn't tell Joe that you wanted a conference. Sorry.
Okay. Here's a couple things I wanted to say. Number one, the 2 things that I'm most excited about in the islands are the larger cargo drones. They're going to be able to carry several thousand pounds and can go between the islands, including maybe from Guam to Palau, also the different islands that don't get regular service. And it's going to totally change our ability to do logistic support to the more remote islands that are in the Pacific.
Considering the nature of devastation and destruction from things like typhoons, I'm remembering one in particular that went right through a whole bunch of islands in Ulithi. And it took time to get the response folks able to get there with the goods. And you got to remember, I mean, everything is coming in from Yap proper, the main island, and they got hit with the same storm, though not as bad, but it was still kind of tricky. And yeah, it would have been nice if you'd have had some drones that could take airlift a whole bunch of by way of food and supplies.
We're only a couple of years away from having that capability, the distance and the weight carrying to do that. And so as that begins to open up, it's not just after an emergency or disasters, but think a minute, you got somebody on another island, even with the smaller drones today, you can get medical supplies to them now within a matter of hours, which you could never do before.
Well, if you got the airlift, why not just put them on the drone and figure out some way to lash it to the drone and fly the guy back?
My second thing.
Yeah.
As you know, I go to lots of 911 emergency communications, and sometimes we have sidebars of things that are developing in other technology. We're only several years away from being able to have the drones able to do the air medevacs. And that's something I think why Guam could never have afforded to have helicopter crews and helicopters running around. We could have several drone medevac air units that could be stationed to be able to go pick people up who are in emergency situations in southern Guam and get them to the hospital in 10 to 12 minutes instead of the time it takes today. It's going to change medicine in Guam.
I'm looking forward to those years. I'm sure you are as well. And the capabilities here can do nothing but expand. You think about the drone technology being able to move things from one place to another. And what happens if you need to move things to one place to another? You don't necessarily have another driver, but you can have an instruction on video that is provided by Skylink, Starnet. What it was, Skynet? No, what's it? Not Skynet. Starlink.
Yeah.
You can Starlink. You've got a Starlink receiver on the drone, so that's capable of not just back and forth data exchanges, but you can also do real-time instruction. You can have a guy on the screen.
Available for drones and aircraft. Starlink is available for air use now, including drones, aircraft. In fact, hopefully we'll have some of that out in the Pacific soon on United, because I know they've signed up with it.
Yeah.
But what's important about the air medevac is you don't need to keep a flight crew and a medical crew. The medical crew has some additional training to use the drone. The drone will go pick the person up, and you're dealing with the medic for the medevac and one other. So you've got a much lower weight, much faster, and can do it. And it could be something very affordable for Guam's future for rescue.
Got it. All right. Off the drones, onto another subject here. Conflicts Asia has written a story about security concerns for critical U.S.-Asia deep-sea cables. And the story naturally links to the significant network of deep-sea cables that are coming into Guam, and concerns that they are being molested by the Chinese.
It's a concern I have also. The easiest way to mess up the U.S. Military is to take away their communications. Can be done by satellite and can be done undersea cable with the technology they have today. And so that has to just be part of our defense. We have to defend our communications, or we can't maintain the military, let alone the civilian side of things.
You can lose all of it if one Chinese submarine or Russians, and they're already doing this in the Baltics, where there are undersea cables that are already being damaged. I guess the only other thing that you can do after that is redundant paths and other methods of self-healing.
Absolutely, but that's correct. That's why Guam is very good, because we have more. The word more redundant is we like to use diversity because of multiple paths, and we have that. But think a minute about with technology today, you don't need something the size of a torpedo to kill a boat. You could have something that just has several pound explosive in it, and you could destroy a cable once they know how to go out and aim those and use them. So to get rid of communications, we've always said undersea cables are really secure because they're underwater and hard to get to, not if you've got the right technology. And then, of course, you know that one of the goals of China will be to disrupt our communications if they go into a conflict with Taiwan.
Immediately. Yep. And that's the basis of the article and one of the examples that is used. 9:40 in the morning. Bob Kelly, always
a pleasure. I haven't seen the article, but I have exactly that concern.
No, it's real because it's happening, and there's documents.
I'll make one more statement where I think the Navy and the military is falling short. Guam used to be a major HF high-frequency hub for radio communications that did not use satellite or cables, but just used the airwaves. Radio Barrigada was a major transmitter site with multiple channels, and the naval station had multiple antenna systems for HF. Most of those have been decommissioned, and they're now depending on the satellites to do most of their ship-to-shore, and they're depending upon the cables for part of their communications. And I don't think we have adequate backup to HF, and it's the old technology, even if we're talking about going back to radio teletype and even in some cases Morse code, but radio teletype is more efficient. We don't have the capability to do that. And I'd rather have good radio teletype between all the mission commanders and the ships and so on than nothing. And that's what I'm afraid we might end up with if we're totally dependent upon satellite.
No disagreement there. I was bragging a little bit about having redundant paths. So the way our voices get to the transmitter site here is we leave the building via a fiber optic cable, and then it goes into a microwave link that IT&E has prepared for us that communicates with the transmitter site. When Mawar hit, different parts of that particular infrastructure went down, but we were able to maintain at least one of our radio stations online, which meant all three of the stations could be online in one form or fashion. But we were able to maintain a link using technology that is about 60 years old, but it still works and it still sounds good. And it was the port in our storm, if you will, that kept us online for the entire journey. Bob, I'm going to let you run. I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. 888-8255-888-TALK. Clearly, that number works in Philippines as well. I might have put this up on the screen. This was one of the places where you can walk across the street to get from one side to the other, and that's Glorietta Mall on the other side. But the cool thing was it didn't. It had interesting technology in terms, you go to someplace and you push a button and you wait for your turn to go. This place here, and there's several like it, where it actually had a little box on the side of the street. It said stop or go. It turned green when it was your turn to go, and it spoke to you. It said the light is red. The light is green. Please proceed. And it did it in a couple of languages. I thought that was pretty interesting technology and something that we can bring out here. 9:43. I catch myself every once in a while reminiscing about a unique kind of Guam that we had in the 80s and 90s. Places like the Signature, which by itself is just kind of a cool little kind of yuppie bar that we had. But the characters that ran the place, the characters that worked at the place, and the character of the bar itself was something, I don't know, kind of unique. You don't see that too much. And in a restaurant referred to as Leo's, because that was the name of the place, and Leo's was a place where you could go because you could get they had really, really good beef Kelligwin there, and these lumpias, little fried lumpias. That it's just finger food that you could get with a cold beer. But the crazy thing about it was it had this crazy green color on the outside. I think it was green, teal or something like that, and a Volkswagen that stuck out of the end, out the outside. And on the inside, there was the other end of the Volkswagen. It was just cool. There used to be a Volkswagen on top of a tower over by where Mosa is in the old Moylan's building. There were things that gave us character, and we don't have too many of those things anymore. I think we've gotten into a wave of architecture and building technology where things kind of all look the same. The only thing that made anything look different was when they were doing that mural, when the guy was running around there doing all the different murals on the building. We got to, and we need to make new murals. There needs to be a thing. If I was in charge of the beautification task force, that's exactly what I'd do. Is I'd commission a whole bunch of art, and we're going to find art that we can place on the wide side of buildings. Have some artists come out there and make it pretty. I think murals look great, and I think they really kind of clean up and enhance the place. You can sit in the most blighted part of Anigua, but in the most blighted part of Anigua, are there not a couple of really, really good-looking pieces of artwork on the walls? Yeah, it nices up the place. And there was another thing. I was thinking about my Uncle Al Israel, and there used to be, whenever he'd stick up a new building somewhere, he'd have a mosaic on the side of the building, and he did them himself. He was a talented artist himself, and he put these beautiful mosaics up on the side of the building. And maybe that's something that we can encourage people to think about doing as well, is just find some of the stories, myth and legend and history of Guam, and find a way to put them in some mosaic form. It's not that difficult. It's just tiles, glass. And make us some pretty buildings that will add to the character of the island and help tell the stories. Like the most unique building that we've got in Tumon now is that pink building, right? Wouldn't it be great if there was another different, if there was somebody with some imagination and some property listening to this broadcast? I think that's kind of one of the things. There's a story in the stack here about is it food tourism? I don't know. Tell you what, it's 9:46. I'm going to grab a break while I'm thinking about it and see if I can come up with that story. It should be as deep in a pile of stories I printed out this morning, but I'll find it and bring it to you here in just a sec.
Buenas and Hofade Guam, I'm Jonathan Charfris. Here's a look at 3 stories you need to know for Wednesday, December 10th. A full slate of bills have moved through the Guam legislature, from plans to keep veteran teachers in the classroom to tens of millions of dollars aimed at stabilizing Guam Memorial Hospital. Nevaeh Anderson has a full breakdown in her report that you can see online on our KYM News YouTube channel. In Dededo, the mayor is speaking out about long-delayed repairs at the village's senior center, one of the oldest facilities built back in the 80s. With limited resources and funding, the mayor, his staff, and even a senior client had to step in to keep the center safe and accessible. Atsuki Hirayama has a story. You can watch it right now on our KUAM News Facebook page. And the Office of the Governor is calling on the community to review and comment a new draft programmatic agreement that outlines how military projects on Guam will be reviewed and managed. The agreement between Joint Region Marianas and the Guam State Historic Preservation Office sets the framework for how defense undertaking must meet requirements under the National Historic Preservation Act. Governor Lulian Guerrero says this is a key opportunity for the public to help shape how future military activities respect Guam's historic sites, cultural resources, and Chamorro lifeways. The draft PA will apply to new defense projects not covered by prior agreements, replace the 2008 Navy PA, and create procedures for archaeological review, historic structures treatment, inadvertent discovery, and human remains. It also calls for development of archaeological sensitivity maps and regular reporting with SHPO. The public has 30 days to submit comments. The draft is available on go.opengovguam.com/news/CDLO. And written feedback can be sent to the Guam SHPO at patrick.lujan@dpr.guam.gov. Officials say community input will help guide decisions that impact Guam's land, heritage, and future generations. For more, visit KUAM.com. You can also catch a stream of our newscasts on our YouTube channel or Facebook page. And to keep updated, follow KUAM News on Instagram. Jonathan Charfris, KUAM News.
The Hilton Guam Resort and Spa is hosting a celestial New Year's Eve countdown. This is an open bar New Year's Eve party at the Tree Bar, and tickets are only $60 per person or $100 per couple. DJ Mark kicks the New Year's Eve mix off at 9 p.m., and then it's a night full of raffle prizes, specialty cosmic cocktails, and a grand deal champagne toast at midnight. Dinner patrons at the Hilton that night get discounted no-host bar tickets for only $15. Get tickets at guamtime.net and at the Hilton front desk. Bud Light reminds you that responsibility matters.
From small teams to growing companies, the United World Elite Business Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank can help turn your purchases to rewards your business can use. Plus, enjoy MasterCard benefits designed to give you peace of mind. Apply for the United World Elite Business Credit Card today, and if approved, earn 50,000 bonus miles when you spend $5,000 within the first 3 months after account opening. It all starts with yes. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit one of our branches or go to fhb.com/United Business.
Oh, wow. So everybody's doing a thing. Most apps these days seem to have some kind of a New Year's ender that talks about how long you listened on Spotify. Strava is now sending me some of the details, and among in the top 3 of the people that gave me kudos, Real Joe Cruz.
I'm a winner.
Top 3. Jerry Damien is number 1.
Okay.
Gave me a whole lot. Activities. It shows you who you have shared the most activities with. Let me see. Dream teams, who your top training partners were this year. This is cool. Very, very cool. All right. Something to play with as I say, we close the year. Opinion piece here. Monty Mesa writing a tourism pitch for a new generation of global food travelers. And kind of interesting what he's got to say. Guam is poised to deliver all kinds of things. Street-level gastronomy with global appeals. Outdoor grills, village pop-ups, market vendors, quietly perfecting flavors long before food tourism became a trend. Visitors can encounter wood smoke rising from barbecue stalls where pork ribs and chicken are glazed with fresh dunny and finadeni. Reef-to-table eats served in the same places fishermen bring their morning catch. Coconut-rich sweets and village snacks prepared with the same techniques passed down through generations. It's not manufactured street food. It's real, rooted, and proudly Chamorro. And Monty Mesa is one of these guys in my age group that will agree strongly with a point that I've been trying to make over all of these years. In the beginning days of tourism, when I was just a little boy, before there was a Pleasure Island. And people, the younger people that I explain this to these days cannot fathom the concept that there was a time where there was no hotel in Tumon, period. There's nothing there. Literally. People lived there and would allow you access to the beach through their property if you had a vehicle that could take you from the dirt road that is Challenge San Vitores to where the beach was. Because there were times where you needed a four-wheel drive vehicle to get there. Certainly something sturdy to get you to the beach, but you could pull right up to the sand back in those days. And you take your picnic blanket out, your hibachi barbecue, cooler with beer and, no, just beer. And a little church key. They used to have a church key attached. There's a little church key that you could open a can of beer with it or pop the top off a bottle with it. Those are indispensable. That's why every Chamorro boy knows how to open a bottle with a lighter. At any rate, and so in those days, if somebody passed by, it was probably somebody that you knew. And you say, hey, Joe, I got a barbecue going on. I got some rice and Vienna sausage and hot dog and whatever. Come on over, have a drink. And that's how people communicated with each other and got together. Well, in the 70s, late 60s and 70s, when we would go to the beach, and they were full of locals. That was, nothing to do in the house, so let's go to the beach, right? And so we're all hanging out in the beach, and pretty soon, here come the Japanese. We don't speak Japanese. They don't speak any English. But we all speak Schlitz. We all speak Olympia. And there's nothing like
shish kebab.
Calling somebody over. Yeah. Have a shish kebab, a bite of rice, and a cold drink. And, where are you going? Talk louder. Where going you? Sign language. But that's how Guam got its reputation for incredible hospitality, because we were very hospitable. And it was, we always had extra for other Guamanians. We always had extra for servicemen, because there was, when I was a kid and the tourism was bubbling, there was a war going on out in Vietnam. And then when the Japanese started coming, there were all these questions about, how the javelin, they're going to be welcome. This is it's 20 years since the liberation. Are they going to be okay with this? And as it turns out, most people were okay with it. And before you knew it, Al Israel started buying up every square inch of Tumon and talking to people that didn't sell but went into business with them. And created what is there now. And I think there's a part of the destination management that requires a rethink of this. I'm glad Monty's doing it, because Monty's the same age as me just about, and came up around the same time, has the same experiences. We used to be kids at Cathedral Grade School. And there'd be people that, this before tour buses, but they had them then. And the Japanese office ladies and the salarymen are out there, and they got big heavy cameras, and they're taking pictures. And there were not one kid from Cathedral Grade School around that same time frame couldn't figure out how to work a camera. I take your picture. I still do that. 64 years old this year. I still do that when I'm in Tuma. I see pretty girls, and they're taking pictures one by one. I always ask, can I take your picture? So 2 of you and one, 90 times out of 100, the answer is yes. And I always take a selfie of me first, and then I take a picture of them, because I'm scared like that.
That's a small charge.
Exactly. So you can say, this is my Guamanian boyfriend. It's my Guamanian daddy. 9:55 in the morning. We got to go back to that. Real Joe is waiting for me to say it. High tech is nice. High touch is better. So as you are all hereby ordained, and you might be ordained ministers of tourism. So go down to Agana, go down to Pleasure Island, go down to Tumon, and walk around there and act like you own the place, and make some real connections with the other human beings. On the screen right now, I was telling you about that PST restaurant that I went to at the Triangle Village. It's a pizza place. Not Shakey's, not Capriccio's or anything like that. They had a nice menu, a lot of different pizza selections that you can make, and fairly to the degree that we get anything that feels and eats like a real Italian pizza.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, this was yummy. It was a nice little char on the top and a little bit of a char on the bottom, but still a little bit of, how do I want to say it? Not raw on the inside, but juicy on the inside. A lot of flavor that came in with this. And there's black olive and green olives.
Black olives matter.
There were slivers of white onions that I carefully peeled away.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But that's all right. And not one, but 2 of the ladies that worked there that said that they were looking for a foreign husband.
Oh, wow.
So you got that.
You dodged the bullet, too.
You got that conversation going. And so that's a unique offering, and maybe there needs to be more unique offerings like that here on Guam, where we say, all right, pizza is universal. Everybody loves pizza. There's nobody that doesn't like pizza, and maybe we need to come up with all kinds of different ways. Remember when Joey had that hotnu? The hotnu pizza when they first opened Carabao?
Hotnu.
Yeah. Oh, my God, that was great. I got to tell you.
That's
and it's hard to cook in a real oven like that, because, the temperatures, there's hot spots, cold spots, whatever. But Joey got that all figured out, and then he took over Capitol Kitchen. Nothing wrong with that. There was the last thing I did. There was a get-together over at Capitol Kitchen on Thursday. I saw
pictures.
Did you?
Yeah. They're going around, man.
Okay. Good pictures?
Yeah, very
was I well behaved?
Yes.
Okay. Where was I? 9:58, and a couple of things that I didn't get a chance to talk about this morning, but I will. Dave Herrera, quote, advocate for tomorrow land trust beneficiaries. Actually, he used to be with the land trust until he looked like he was disagreeing with Governor Lulian Guerrero.
You're out of there.
You and one of the twins. Same thing. But he sent me a copy of a letter that he sent to the senators explaining why the ThePOINT property was sold fee simple to the government of Guam in 1952. So any language in a measure that was sent down by the governor to return it to the Perez family is unnecessary. And that, like I said, I'll share with you perhaps tomorrow or something like that. But the other cool stories, and this one's not cool. It's disappointing because we spent so much time with a celebrity skateboarder another fellow from the skate group. They were going to have a skate championship, but the rain held it off. It's almost poetic because I started the conversation with them last week by telling them the story about how Gibson's was going to have a skate championship the same weekend that Typhoon Pamela came through here, and they never ever went back and said we're going to do this again. The guys over at the skate champion says, no, we're down. We're just going to have to hold off on this until it's not quite as, oh my God, rainy season as it is now. We'll keep an ear on that and get details with one of the originators of the skate group here on Guam, Clayton, when he comes in on Friday. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. KUSG again, 93.3. Thanks for having me back. Tomorrow, you know who we got tomorrow? It's going to be great. Lucian is tomorrow.
Oh, yeah,
Lucian,
nuclear power.
8:40, and we're going to be talking about safe, clean nuclear electricity for Guam. And it's time that we have serious conversations about that, not just on the radio, but in the legislature and governor's office as well. It's 10. It's time for Fox News.
I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Trump speaking in moments in the battleground state as he works to hit back against criticism from Democrats that his affordability plan is actually hurting Americans.
It's a strategy shift from the White House. They're trying to get the president back out on the campaign trail where he does the best, where he's able to connect with voters face to face and be able to speak for himself and tell them how he is making life more affordable in the middle of this battle for affordability between Republicans and Democrats.
Fox's Aisha Hasni in Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth has told congressional leaders he's still considering releasing the full video of strikes on a suspected drug boat off the coast of Venezuela in September. He made the comments during a classified briefing this afternoon. That's according to Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, who spoke with reporters after